Hail and well met. Welcome to the official release, the official launch of Season 2 of the Westgate Irregulars campaign. Yay! I am Eric Scott DeBee, the DM of this campaign. We could have switched to a different DM, I guess, but, I just thought of that just now, and it's too late. These are the Dungeon Scrawlers. For those of you who are new to our stream, we are a group of writers, as we are all going to tell you about operating out of the Seattle area, Pacific Northwest. It was a lovely day today. Hopefully spring has come to the region and spring has come to Westgate. But before we get to what's going on in everyone's favorite Thieves city, we're going to introduce ourselves. So take it away, Erin.
Hi, I'm Erin M. Evans. I'm the author of the Brimstone Angels saga, a 6-book series set in the Forgotten Realms that follows twin tieflings, Frida and Havilar, who are also characters in Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, who I'll tell you about in a minute. I'm the host of Champions of Lore, and I am also a player in Idle Champions Presents The Unfair Seas, both on Mondays on twitch.tv/CNE Games, where you can check out their schedule. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you about our sponsor. Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is a strategy game that unites iconic Dungeons and Dragons characters from popular novels, campaigns, and popular shows. All of these are popular things. Into one epic adventure, which includes Frida and Havilar. The game is available for PC and Mac on Steam and web, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, iPad, iPhone, and on all Android devices. If you type in the code at the bottom of the screen, it will give you a lovely code to type into Idle Champions to get an Electrum chest. So pop that in. Let us know what you got. Hope it's something shiny. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you should check them out at idlechampions.com.
Hey, I'm Rhiannon Held. I write for RZ Held. Did my audio skip or anything?
You just glitched for a second.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. Internets, Rhiannon Held, Urban Fantasy Rhiannon Held, Space Opera RZ Held. We are, in fact, all writers of some stripe, and so we have varying books and short stories and novellas and all kinds of cool stuff for you guys to check out. So one place to do that is the Amazon widget on our Twitch page, and also on dungeonscrawlers.com. So take a look and maybe you'll find a book you like.
Hey, I'm Ying Wang. I am a writer and a filmmaker. This week, we are also starting our very first giveaway that we're ever doing. So thank you for helping us test our giveaway systems. If you wish to enter, please take a look at that picture up there. And there are 2 commands. One is !enter to get yourself a ticket for a chance to win. And the second one to give you more information about the giveaway itself. So good luck to all of you who enter. You will get 1 jumbo D20 by the amazingly talented Teacup, the creator.
Hi, I'm Stephen Merlino. I'm an author and a teacher.
Hi, I'm Randy Henderson. I am an author and an author.
Multi-class author.
That's right. I'm an author and a writer, and also a scribbler, and sometimes a scrawler.
It amazes me how many times that question comes up. Hey, can my fighter multi-class as a fighter to get more fighter abilities? I'm like... So, Season 2. We've been taking a couple of months to just do some kind of between season stuff, some experimental things and some canon agnostic things. Some of those things happened, some of them didn't, but this is a great jumping on point for the campaign. And basically you're going to see the characters showing up again, and they're going to tell you who they are, and we're going to see the threats starting to coalesce against them, because that's what D&D is all about. Finding threats, killing them, and taking their stuff.
Yeah, especially the last part.
This is a writer stream, so there's a Susanna character arc in there too.
Yeah, a lot of character. Poor Eric.
Because try and stop us.
That's right.
Yeah. Love our backstories.
Oh yeah.
Okay, here we go. And I do want to preface this by saying we are the writer stream, not the math stream. So occasionally there will be mathematical errors. Please don't hold it against us.
But you can help us. It's okay.
We're combining the rule of cool and the rule of story and the rules as written. So here we go.
All right.
Westgate, city of thieves and shadows, the gateway to the west that marks the edge of the savage frontier, the greatest free city on the sea of fallen stars. The earthquake of early 1493 was but the first disaster to rock the city in recent days, not counting Rogar's anything Rogar does. A treacherous attack on the ruling merchant council led to a peasant uprising coupled with simultaneous interplanar invasions of Githyanki warships and a clan of violent orcs. Fortunately, 5 great heroes came to the defense of Westgate, felling 2 ships before tearing a rift in reality to swallow up the other 2. They are the heroes of Westgate, and fame has come upon them whether they want it or not.
I feel like the biggest problem with Fane is we don't need people looking that closely at what we did.
Yep.
It might not seem quite as heroic under close scrutiny.
We didn't start the problem in the first place. No, we just solved it.
I mean, really, the problem is the deep corruption in Westgate.
That is true.
That's right. Yeah.
That's the real problem. Let's focus on the real problems here, not the things that we did.
Yeah.
All right. So the scenes in this game, in this session, are a little bit loose, so we can go in whichever order makes sense to you. Does one of you want to start? Otherwise, I will call on someone.
Teacher, call on us.
All right. Let's start with Rogar.
All right.
Okay.
Rogar.
Aye.
Played by Mr. Randy Henderson there.
Jack Black's stunt double.
It's begun. All right. Rogar.
Aye.
We're standing before a narrow storefront you've never noticed before, almost as if it was wedged between 2 buildings to either side. This is not too unusual, since after the destruction of so much of Westgate, new buildings and businesses are going up all over the place. Many of the buildings in this area have cracks running through them. They're blackened by fire, but this building seems fairly sturdy. It has a red door with a round window above it and 2 arched windows to either side, and a sign that reads, Glynn's slightly used but very useful goods.
Excellent. Right. So should I describe Rogar, since we're kind of
Yes.
What should we do?
The first shot is of him looking at this building, and then we zoom back out to see a stout dwarf standing before this building.
Aye. So Rogar, So Rogar standing there, hand in hand with a very handsome-looking elf figure, and he's wearing his mithril plate, and
shining like the sun.
Shining like the sun. Kept very clean by our little pet gelatinous cube Roomba.
Like the Freudian slip there. By my, I mean our.
I mean our.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And he's a gold dwarf. His although he's not covered in much gold because he's a cleric, he is wearing a nice crimson tabard with the symbol of Sharindlar, goddess of life and love, upon it, a burning needle, and a helm that one horn's been shorn off, but he has a little flower that grows out of it, so it's all good. He's the skin is the color of a good, rich, loamy earth because he's a good dwarf, and his beard, of course, is magnificent. And he's walking, he's been walking hand in hand with Ruan, and Ruan is, I don't know, do you want to describe Ruan there, Eric?
Sure. Ruan is a slender, silver-haired elf who tends to dress quite nicely in well-maintained clothes, which is unusual because of his nighttime activities. And he has very green eyes, I believe, and always carries a gnarled stick, like a walking stick, but it obviously can't support his actual weight. He looks up at the storefront and says, is this the sort of shop you're looking for, darling?
Rogar blushes a little bit. He's still not he really likes walking around with Rowan and holding his hand and being called darling, but it's still very weird for him. It's kind of hard.
Is that not the right term? Shall we go with sweets? Sweetling?
Schnookums.
Okay.
Bright
all
bird,
right.
diamond.
Public, no PDMs, public display of names or whatever this is. All right, so
Quite right. He taps his stick against his head.
it's like 100 years of conditioning I'm getting past here. So all right, I was hoping to get some gifts for the rest of the irregulars, and you know, it's been feels like we have barely seen each other this past month with all of the work we've been doing getting Westgate back in shape. And I wanted to say too, I'm kind of sorry I haven't been spending more time with you. I feel like I've neglected you a bit, or I hope you don't feel that way though.
Rogar, you are a hero of the city. If you didn't neglect me, well, if you didn't neglect me, you would be neglecting your duties to the city. There we go. Perfect.
Okay, oh good. All right, well, but I promise I'll intend to spend more time with you. In fact, I was thinking, since you're a druid, we could, you know, I've been working to try and feed and heal a lot of the people in the city, and maybe we could start like a community garden together.
What a wonderful idea.
Trying to think of a project we can do together.
Care about feeding the people of the city. Obviously, the city wall should be torn down and everything should return to nature. But I do like the garden idea.
Political policy by Ruan.
And this is why all good relationships are compromised. All right. All right.
Ruan,
so
an anarchist since 1493.
All right. Well. Okay. Well, good. I just wanted to get that off my chest. All right. Yeah. Let's go check out the shop. There have not been a lot of great shopping opportunities since all of the disaster. So I'll open the door and step inside.
Knock the whole city down.
That's right. Well, not all of it, just a great deal of it.
Burn like some other parts.
A lot less than if we hadn't, stepped in.
Aye. Exactly.
Apparently my mic is a little bit soft, so I'm going to try and see.
Aye. And I found it, and I mean, I've never seen this shop before, but then, there's so many new places springing up in replacement of all the buildings that have been burned or collapsed or had mammoths fall on them out of the sky, let's say, or that, there's just been a lot of... I know. So there's been a lot of reconstruction, so I'm not entirely surprised to see.
Indeed. All right, how's it sounding now?
Perfect, better? Much better, yeah.
Yeah, it was configured wrong in my audio settings. All right, so as you enter, the early spring light streams in through the window in pale shafts. Westgate rarely gets truly sunny. As you enter this cluttered, tight space, highlighting an impressive collection of oddities that line shelves along the walls or stand on small pedestals and platforms, leaving narrow paths between. There are numerous items that catch your eye. Many of them are exotic-looking things. I'll just give you a couple of examples. There's a cauldron with a ladle turning inside by itself and a small sign that says, 3 speeds, 2 of them tested. There's a small wooden box with a sign that says, deck of more than a few things, only 2 missing. There's a small writing desk that's shaped like a raven. There's a red patchwork robe that, as you look, one corner lifts to wave at you coyly. Oh. And as you're waving, you hear a voice. It goes, "Ha!" And then there's this soft tune that starts playing on this harp. As the door closes behind you, a thin chain running from the door causes a small cage to lift and fall, shaking a small imp inside who's holding this small harp. He cries out, "Ah, I got a new sucker boss!" He then looks at you and says, "Good work, kid."
Thank you, friend imp.
The proprietor of the shop emerges from behind a red velvet curtain to stand behind a jewelry case that also serves as the counter. The light from inside the case shines up to cast a dramatic glow over their purple and green robes, round face, and impressive mop of curly red hair. Okay. You cannot tell if the shopkeep is human or elf, but they seem of that sort of extraction. It's equally hard to distinguish their gender or the age or really anything else, especially without a proper beard or beard rings to help signify that. Dwarven women and dwarven men have totally different beard rings. Anyway, they are quite impressive in their girth, however, speaking to the kind of prosperity and perhaps ample consumption of cheese and ale that Rogar sometimes dreams of. Ah, well met, good dwarf, the shopkeep says, with a short bow of their head and a flourish of the hand, the light flashing on several bejeweled rings. Please excuse Mogwai, he is terribly ill-mannered and, well, impish. I do be Glyn, purveyor of dreams and meter of needs. What brings you to my humble shop?
Oh, well, I was looking for gifts for four of my friends, and I have some thoughts about it, but I would be interested in your thoughts, and I'll share with him my thoughts, but I'm not going to say it because I'll come up and I'll whisper it to him. I'll say, "This is what I'm thinking," because one, I don't want to ruin it here, but also I don't like. I've noticed that Shay always seems to know everything that we're doing, and I don't want her to somehow spoil it for the others. So,
you lean across the counter.
I lean across the counter.
Glyn.
Well, as much as I mean, you know.
To listen. I see. Yes, I think I can provide a certain number of these items. Stay here with your bright bird there. And Glenn heads back in behind the curtain to start shuffling through some items. The cage goes, oh, ha, ha, ha. And the cage shakes a little bit. Came with an idea of what you wanted. That was a good idea. I want to be free. Can you free me? Just kidding. Glenn would probably be unhappy with that. I wasn't really kidding. Free me, please. This is terrible.
Well,
Ruin says, look at this, sweetling.
What?
Points to a chain that's draped over a hook on the wall with manacles that are shaped like black hearts. And he says, does this give you any ideas?
Rogar brushes furiously and says, I'm thinking of page 73 in the Happy Earthquakes in particular, but I kind of get a weird sense off of it, like
it is a little bit unsettling.
It
says, Ruin says, do you feel the same way I do? Look at this. And he holds up an hourglass with skulls carved into its base, filled with a thick red liquid. See? That also gives you an unsettling feeling.
It does. Maybe put that down and don't turn it over.
Right. He just puts it down.
Thank you.
What's this? And he goes over and looks at it.
Oh my god. All right. Ruin, why don't we go and just look at the pretty things in the jewelry case over here?
Of course.
That you can't touch.
Spontaneous. Is that coming across?
It's very, you're being very spontaneous, and I'm just worried that maybe, if we break it, we buy it, or possibly die it. I don't know. So
fair enough. Sarshan was giving me some tips, and I suppose he's probably gone too far. So.
Oh, tips on what?
Being spontaneous. Mostly they were just point to things that you see. And then talk about them.
That does sound very Sarshan. Why were you asking him for tips on being spontaneous?
Yeah, why ask Sarshan?
Well,
to be fair,
pretty spontaneous.
He's pretty spontaneous.
He's very spontaneous.
He's like nothing but spontaneous.
I'm just worried that I don't, that I'm not spontaneous enough for you, Rogar.
For me, I kind of thought I was not spontaneous enough for you.
Interesting.
You hang up. No, you hang up.
I barely combed my hair today. Did you notice?
I did notice that.
Guys.
I did notice that. And I barely like braided my beard. I don't know if you noticed, but I left this one unbraided, like just to be wild.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I was letting loose, literally, like.
Oh, Glenn is standing behind the counter while Ruin is braiding your beard.
Oh.
And they say, yes, I believe I have what you were looking for. And they unroll the items in this leather wrap. But we don't see what they are because you're leaning over to look.
Aye. Aye.
Ruin looks down and says,
perfect. I think those would be perfect.
Fantastic. Thank you, good shopkeep, Ruin says.
So I'll reach for my money pouch. So we got like, I think we got a nice little chunk of change when at the exchange at the Ghost Shrine, and then I think last time someone in chat gave Rogar like 250 gold pieces. I apologize, I forgot who it was at the moment, but feel to give a shout out in the chat. And then, and a lot of that has gone towards like I've been buying like little supplies that I've been giving out to people, like medical and food and emergencies type stuff, and trying to help people. But I've got a few coins, so I'm hoping it's enough to. I kind of weigh it and like. You know, I'm a cleric, so I have a bit of coin, and I'm always happy, of course, to like give you a blessing, or maybe like if you need a bit of healing, perhaps, or an exchange of services, as it were. If this be not enough,
very smooth chin. Are you not Rogar Battle Baron, hero of Westgate?
I'm not Rogar Battle Baron, hero of Westgate.
Rowan says that is correct. He is not Rogar Battle Baron. And Glenn says, well, some physical payment would be useful, but also I wonder if you might regale me with your experiences.
Regale you with my experiences? Okay.
As you might have gathered, my shop is not strictly a mundane shop. I am a minor practitioner of the art, and I wish to see things that I would not otherwise have the opportunity to see, and perhaps you would share such a thing with me.
Sure. I mean, my friends Sturge and Stong are so much better at this than I am, but I'm no skald, but I can try and regale you. How do you regale again? What is regaling?
That is adorable, but this is what I had in mind. And Glenn reaches out and touches your cheek.
Mm-hmm.
You feel magic rippling along their fingers, and Glenn says, open your mind to me and let me see that which you have inside.
Oh, I'm thinking of all the times the Irregulars have encountered this kind of thing, and it rarely goes well.
All right, make a wisdom saving throw if you like.
All right.
That's what everyone loves to hear.
You can voluntarily fail the save if you want to.
Oh, if you want to.
I guess.
And I'd ask him for that. I will point out the liquor of the month, which is a bottle of Eagle Rare Bourbon from Kentucky. This is from the same people who make Buffalo Trace, and it is pretty great. So,
yeah. I also just want to highlight that we have a poll up right now, asking the important question: who is more into the other, Ruan or Rogar?
Oh, that's. Oh no.
As long as they don't know you're discussing it, we should be able to proceed with the game.
So it's I rolled a 12 plus 4, so 16. And 16. And Rogar's like, does
manage to fight off the mental probe.
Well, I'll say so.
Frown slightly.
Do you promise it? You're not gonna like, I don't know, like put anything in there that shouldn't be, right? Or like take away anything that shouldn't
Of
be?
course not. I
Okay.
simply wish to see. And
Can-
Ruin
can-
says, don't worry, love. If
Aye.
anything goes wrong, I will summon Old Pounder and pound the hell out of Glenn.
Oh, okay.
All of you need to do better at naming your weapons.
I just thought naming my stick would be a good idea, and I asked Sturge what a good name would be.
Sturge, would you like to share with our potential new viewers what the name of your rapier is?
Mr. Whippy.
Mr. Whippy and Old Pounder.
So Ruan, so
Could have
this
been
is
quarter pounder, quarter
This-
staff,
Oh,
quarter
nice.
pounder.
so Rogar is starting to realize one of the many ways in which we are very nicely balanced in the sense of wisdom. Like the fact that Ruan went to Sarshan for advice on, being spontaneous, and to Sturge on advice on naming his weapon. I'm starting to see like a pattern here where I think I'm starting to see some of the ways in which I can bring something to this relationship and help out Ruin. Anyway, I got a 16. So I said to him, okay, well, if you'll do an ancient dwarven, pinky dinky ring promise, where we knock the pinky rings 3 times and then promise on our pinky rings not to do
not how that
anything
works.
bad. I'm pretty
Glenn
sure. I don't
extends
know.
one mini ringed hand.
Pinky ring promise. Boop, boop. Excellent. Okay, I trust you.
Okay. Glenn casts a spell again. And visions start filling your mind.
Oh.
And at first you're seeing, the battle and scenes of heroism. And then Ruin touches your hand to just reassure you that everything's fine. And
Aye.
all of a sudden you are surrounded by swirling creatures.
Whoa.
Like clouds of black fog that smell like ash and waste.
I had not seen these in a while. I was
Their
kind of
glowing
hoping
eyes peer down
it would
upon
go
you.
away.
What kind of waste?
Human waste, dwarven waste, demi-human waste.
Oh my.
They're
Oh,
flying shit demons, and they look down upon you and they go,
oh no 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 no.
no.
Oh no 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 no. No, not the boggle wumps, no.
Connection breaks. Glenn leans back, looking a little startled. Ruin leans down and grabs Rogar by the face and says, "What is it? What's wrong? What's wrong?"
I saw the bloody boggle wumps again. I thought
But you dispelled those.
I thought so, but I don't know. When he touched it, I just felt all of those things that I felt before, and they came back.
So Glenn is pressing their hand to their forehead and goes, "Well, that will be quite sufficient. Yes, please take these things and thank you for your patronage."
Was it just a memory, or did they manifest in the space? And
It seemed very real, but it was just a memory as far as you
Okay.
can tell.
All right.
Like they flowed out of you and then filled the space.
Okay. All right. Okay. Rogar's pretty shaken, but he'll take the presents and he'll say, thank you, I
Glenn
guess.
goes, Yes. And Mogwai the imp goes, "That's your cue. Get out while you still have coin."
Rogar just kind of he's very distracted and just sort of lets Ruin sort of guide him out to the store and
Okay.
back
And
into the
you
sunlight.
head out of the store.
Aye.
The door closes behind you, raising up this cage that the imp was in. And the cage disappears, and the imp is now free and stretches and flutters over to the counter. This is one of the interludes that none of you are directly seeing, but our audience is.
Okay.
And Glenn is looking down at the counter and at the case. It's like, And they reach back and they pull off their red wig, and they're completely bald. Like, that was... and they They rub their forehead and kind of like caress back along their head, and you see this line of arcane runes appear along their skin.
Mm.
And then they say in a very distinctly different voice, "Oh yes, that was quite a lot." Yes, the Zolkir will be happy to hear about this. And then they disappear back behind the red curtain. Speaking of coin flow, Artemisia.
Got fans, y'all.
Coin flow has been...
What's a Zolkin? I don't...
Coin flow has been difficult. And Briarhouse, in its new digs in the southeast corner of Westgate, at the southern tip of the East End, on the ruins of Vamos Castle, which was destroyed by Mammoth Drop.
Freak terrible accident.
Who could have predicted it?
Requires a bit of upkeep. You have hired servants. How many servants have you hired? As a reminder, you still had the services of your seneschal and one maid, and one house ghost.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, I mean, right now, as far as servants for the house itself, she's not going to hire anybody else because she can't afford it. She is going to be instead hiring workers to be doing work outside on the grounds.
Okay.
And stuff like that, builders and people.
Yeah, that has largely eaten up the supply of coin that you got from the Ghost Shrine and Misadventure, I should say.
And she got some from chat last week, but I have a particular thing that she's going to do with that.
Right. I will offer this kind of house rule clarification about how that's all going to work. Chat, you can basically, if we left it as it was, that like you did bling bling and you just gave people money, that would just totally overwrite the story. So what I'm going to say is that when you give somebody bling bling, it means they luck into money or a valuable item of some kind, and then it's up to us how that manifests. So in this case, the money that you gave to Artemisia manifested itself in relatively inexpensive labor that she could commission to clearing the grounds. You could build a fence if you want to. You're very near the River Thun, so they are kind of rebuilding the Vamos personal dock for you to use.
Nice.
The folk of the East End...
Better than the sewer entrance.
Yes. The folk of the East End seem to be more or less embracing you as... relatively, yeah, like they don't love you necessarily. You're not like their liege in some way, but they don't dislike you either.
It's not hard to do better than the Vamoses, I feel like.
Right. You do apparently pay better than the Vamos did, and so you have a steady stream of Shao workers showing up every morning to see if there's more work to be done. Okay. So it is spring in Westgate, and it is coming up to the Festival of Greengrass. Greengrass is the first day of spring. Is that what we decided? Yes, it's the first day of
May
spring.
Day.
Yeah. And as is tradition in Westgate, people are starting to put together a celebration for the day, which involves gifts, revelry, often drinking too much, watching magically created fireworks outside, things like that. And you're managing Briarhouse.
Mm-hmm. Probably doing the accounts and then doing them again. And no, that wasn't an addition error. There isn't enough money, but no. Do them again. Do them again.
Okay. As you are working on the accounts, with the window open, and you can hear the Shao working outside, and they seem to be, they're singing as they work, like they seem to be pretty happy about what they're doing. mostly because you're paying them a good wage. Much better than
That makes
house
everybody a
follows,
little
like I said.
happier.
Yep.
Exactly. And a butterfly comes flapping through the window and alights on your pen that you are writing your accounts with. It has very beautiful emerald green wings.
Oh, that's pretty. Well, she'll stop to sort of admire it. Yeah. Maybe make some kind of gown out of that. Because for the new people joining us, Artemisia, as well as running Briar House, also works at the Silks at Dawn, which is a salon, and so she doesn't do any of the actual making of the clothing, but she does design and she does speak to customers and accept the commissions and all that sort of thing. So it is on her mind to sort of ideas of new spring wardrobes for the customers.
Can I make a small point, since we are established and professional streamers of D&D games? This is probably a really good time for us to reestablish what we look like.
Yep. Can you give us some description about what Artemisia looks like while she's sitting there, mind wandering?
So Artemisia is a half-elf, pretty tall, very skinny, and very well put together. One would not call her beautiful, however, she is very stylish. And her hair is kind of a nothing color brown. It's all up in this sort of intricate cornet of braids, sort of all on the top of her head. And she's got kind of golden, kind of canine eyes, not usually a color you see in half-elves. And her skin is kind of bronze color, and from a distance it's not clear, but if you get up close, especially sort of getting towards the middle of her body, she's got little scales. They get kind of bigger as you go farther up. So kind of draconic maybe. And right now she is wearing a really, really beautiful coat. With the amount of money problems she has, it's the kind of coat that is terribly expensive, and she looks guilty just wearing it, but she couldn't help herself. She had to splurge because it's Greengrass, and you get, you know, your summer wardrobe, and so she got the one thing. So her coat around the neckline and the collar, and then the sleeves come down over the back of her hand. It's got little sort of embroidery that's clearly custom made, so she got the seamstresses at Silks at Dawn to make it, of wolves chasing dragons. And it's not metallic thread, but it is sort of a beautifully sort of golden brown color, and that's all along her neckline. So very expensive. She should not have bought it, but she couldn't help herself.
All right. So you're working on the books, and then you're looking at the butterfly, and it's giving you inspiration for a new dress to design and like a new wardrobe that you might want to look into once you have coin again. And then your thoughts are interrupted by a loud knock at the door. The butterfly takes flight, flutters out the window.
Put everything down. Go answer the door.
Okay. As you're heading to the door, Charity, your maid servant, one of the few permanent servants that you have at the moment, a young woman with kind of light brown skin, wears a head wrapping, so all you can see is her face. Her hair is very hidden. She comes running by and she's like, I'll get it.
Okay, walking slower.
Okay.
Let her do her
She runs
job.
up to the door and opens it, and then she goes, huh. And you see it is one of Westgate's many messengers. Westgate is home to a thriving gig economy. This messenger holds forth a letter, bowing slightly.
Who's it addressed to?
It is addressed to Lady Artemisia Ch01.
Thank you. Are you waiting for a return message?
If that is your will, my lady, I shall wait.
Well, all right. And she'll open up real quick just to skim it, see if it's something she's going to need to reply to immediately.
Okay. It does not look like it. It looks like an invitation to, well, okay. So I should say, yes, it does look like it is expecting a reply. It is an invitation to a conference. A parlay is the word that it uses.
Okay.
With an old friend. And it's not actually signed. It tells you to go to a particular pub in Westgate. I had the name listed down. I'll call it back up and I'll tell you in a second. So Charity is going through her little purse of coins, and she pulls out like a silver, and she looks at the messenger, and then she looks at you for prompting.
Well, whatever is like the bare minimum. She's not going to stiff the messenger, but
okay. Yeah, Charity hands him the one silver coin.
Okay.
And then he says, "Yes, I shall wait if there is a reply, my lady. I was given instructions to do so.
Okay.
Unless you wish to send no reply, which shall be taken as a reply of its own."
So on this letter, she's gonna smell it, see if it smells like some kind of cologne on somebody's that she might recognize.
It does have, okay, make a perception or investigation check. Either one of those would work.
Okay. Let's see which is better.
The messenger, no reply is a reply. Do they charge for that too? Like.
Okay.
Perception slightly better. That's a 9.
Okay. There is a faint smell, a faint odor, but you're not sure what it is. It doesn't smell good though. It smells faintly like burning, like something burned. And it is inviting you to call upon this person at the Rosebud Tavern, which is near the bridge over the River Thune, not too far away from Briar House.
Has she
What could go wrong?
been there
I mean,
before?
it's not a dark alley. It's not saying come to the dark alley behind the Rosebud.
The Rosebud is the city's most glamorous watering hole. It is essentially like a upscale bar that the wealthy or well-to-do are known to frequent. However, the place suffers from an aging patronage. Fewer customers show up every year. Younger nobles and merchant heirs are mostly gone to their rival, the Purple Lady. Purple Lady is basically competing with the Rosebud. The Rosebud is very, it's staid and well-to-do. Like you can picture having afternoon tea there. Purple Lady is, a happening nightclub. And so the younger folk tend to go there rather than the Rosebud.
This is sounding less fun all the time. Well, she's curious, so she's going to tell the messenger that yes, she will make this appointment.
Did you make an investigation check?
Oh.
Yeah, that was the 9.
Oh, that was the 9. Okay.
Yeah, it was a perception for looking at the letter.
Make an investigation check as well.
Okay.
It's like,
because you asked specifically about the smell, so that was the perception.
So 14.
Okay.
For investigation, just
so you're looking at the letter. You turn it over. You see it has a wax seal, which you kind of just broke automatically while you were looking at the letter. But when you pull it back together, it looks like a flaming knife symbol.
Oh.
And the messenger is like, my lady, while you're considering. Meanwhile,
go get in a drinking contest with her Grande Bluff.
Meanwhile, some ways distant and some time ago, by the ruined Castle Cormeril on the cliff near the Sea of Fallen Stars. The fires burn long into the night, long after the screams have stopped. Rain comes, merciful as an executioner's stroke in the small hours in the morning, and the red-hot stones sizzle and crack under the onslaught of the weather.
Nice.
Stone crumbles, towers fall, and the hulking ruin of Castle Cormeril sinks just a bit deeper into utter desolation. Only with the first rays of dawn do the ruins stir. A hand pushes free of the rubble, followed by a bloody, bruised, and burned arm and body. The woman's face is choked in dust and blood, and much of her crimson hair is burned away, but the steel remains in the glare of one furious eye. Regante Bleth has survived, and she is not done with this place.
So that was kind of like our practice run, right? Like, first we'll just burn down this one mansion as a trial run to burning down the whole city, sort of.
First of all, she kidnapped us.
It's
Second
true.
of all, Sargent burned it down.
So, yeah.
That is technically accurate.
Spontaneously! See?
Okay, so I was gonna say speaking of Sargent, but I kind of want to do Cecilia's scene, kind of like, well, we
That's
can
fine.
do it right
it.
now. We can do it right now.
You're in charge, so
Speaking of Sargent, Cecilia,
yes.
where do you find yourself this late in the morning?
I feel like
Cecilia likes to
Cecilia would
sleep
still be
late,
asleep.
so yeah. Okay, but where?
Oh, too many choices. At this point, I feel like Cecilia's stuff is in 4 different places. Probably she should have moved out of Dark Dance Manor by now because nobody else is there.
Did you maybe go to Dark Dance Manor to get your stuff, and then you were
Sure.
drinking too late with Mirren, and then you're like, well, I might as well stay here?
That's a story. I'll go
All
with
right.
it. Sure.
All right, so you stir from your bed in Dark Dance Manor. Dark Dance Manor, for reference to everyone, is located near about the middle of the city. It's fairly far away from Briar House, although there is a teleportation circle linking Dark Dance Manor to Briar House,
You can
so it's
just-
very easy to travel between the two.
If you
Please
dare to
don't-
use it.
If you dare to
Stumble
use it.
out- There is that.
Yes.
Have we worked out the kinks in that? Because the last time Cecilia stepped into the circle, she got yanked into the Feywild. But being able to sort of stumble out of bed and just teleport to her actual residence, such as it is, seems very convenient.
You have used it several times in the interim, and
How many
it has
planes did
gone
it go
better.
to?
No, it just
the
went to
one?
Briar
Just
House.
the same one? Okay.
Yes,
Always
just the
keep
same
worked
one.
out. Okay. I forgive Mirren.
Okay, so you wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Sargent is there, and he's sprawled on the bed next to Cecilia.
Do you sleep? I think it's funny that he's an elf that sleeps.
He is like growling like a wolf. I'm awake. I mean, I was never asleep. He gets up and crosses his legs. He says, good morrow to you.
He was trancing. It's fine.
I was trancing, meditating. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. She'll kiss him on the cheek.
Aha.
It was kind of adorable.
Morning feast. Morning feast?
Morning feast. It's Greengrass, isn't it? You don't know how
what
you
is Greengrass?
It's spring. I'm pretty sure
Spring
it's
is
spring. I'm
a-
pretty sure
Okay, when you say spring,
when the snow melts.
so you mean the season,
Yes.
not the small metal contraption that bounces.
No.
Oh, I saw one of those once, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
I should
Um,
attend a morning feast. He hops off the bed, runs out the room, runs back into the room. I should put my pants on.
You should put your
Puts his pants on, runs out of the room.
Also, his shirt.
Too late.
Okay.
All right.
Do you have
So
any-
they flop back onto the bed.
Although if it is Greengrass, there are things Cecilia is just superstitious enough to feel like she ought to do.
Light is streaming in through the window.
Yes. There's a package, I think, from Artemisia sitting on the that she sort of took with her to come get this stuff. Just figured carry it all with you. Then you know where everything is if you're just carrying everything with you all the time. But it is assume the Greengrass present.
Okay, so
Because
that's
in
over. On,
Aglarond, they buy new clothes for Greengrass.
okay, that's over on the little table
Lord.
with the vanity.
Yeah.
Dark Dance Manor is pretty nice. It's well fitted out. It seems a bit too much like a noblewoman's home for Cecilia to be really comfortable in it.
No, this is like
At least
staying in a hotel, basically.
Yeah, at least the bed is nice.
Yeah. Okay, so Cecilia will haul herself up and get
All right.
dressed.
So you swing your legs out of bed and you immediately step on something crunch under your
Ew.
foot.
What?
You look and it's a little skeleton, like of a little bird, perhaps.
Oh, where did that come from? It's a terrible feeling, like Sargent snacking in bed and leaving a mess.
You're not sure.
Or it's like a warning. It's a threat.
Make a
This is my turn.
survival check.
Something I am notably good at.
Yes.
You get your
Should I
crumbs
do
in the
my
bed
what does my
again.
face look like thing?
What?
It's just rolling really slow, so I said,
Oh.
should I... I critted that survival check.
Oh, nice.
22.
Okay, yeah, that is a small bird corpse. It appears to have been maybe killed by an animal of some kind. You're not really sure how it got here.
Cecilia is sort of suspicious enough that this is kind of weird. It feels omen-y. Could be a weird kind of crummy warning. I feel like there are enough people in this city, as evidenced by the first two parts of this story, that would love to have us dead, that leaving a skeleton by your bed seems like kind of a classic move, but a bird skeleton is a little... So don't know what to make of this. Feels like I should be worried, but at the same time...
If Sargent were a cat and not a wolf, I'd say, it's a gift. But like, I brought you a present.
Well, maybe it's from Cyril.
You
Oh.
do hear soft padding footsteps as this orange tabby cat appears outside the door.
Ah.
And he looks over at you and then kind of rubs his head against the door jamb.
So Cecilia is feeling kind of awkward with Cyril, who was a cat she rescued, and she wouldn't have said that was her cat because you can't really own a cat.
Cats would agree.
But then some things happened, and Cyril decided that he was going to be Artemisia's familiar.
The word decided there is doing a lot of work in that sentence, but yes.
Words
yes.
were said, and she's feeling a little like she don't want to talk to Cyril right now.
Well, the cat doesn't seem to be coming over toward you.
Is this supposed to be an apology?
Cat looks over at you, like
Or she says this
you
in
made a
like
sound.
speech.
Meow.
Oh. Okay. Fine.
Cyril comes over and hops up on the bed. Meow.
What is this?
It comes and like headbutts your hand.
I want to pet the cat, but also he said it was my fault it didn't work, and I don't feel good about that.
He tries to rub his body against you the way cats do.
She's gonna kind of reflexively pet him and then kind of stand up and then go over to get changed.
Cyril curls up where you were sleeping. Sealing your warms.
Because apparently it's my fault. He can't be my familiar. And she's still kind of smarting. So I did not do my job and say what my character looks like.
Right.
Cecilia
While you're getting dressed, this would be a good opportunity.
I look in the mirror.
Classic writer move. Wait, classic writer, not good move. Oh no. All right, go ahead.
So Cecilia is Artemisia's sister. There's I don't know how much family resemblance is there, but I think they have approximately the same eye color. So there is that, kind of a light goldish brown. Cecilia is on her human side Rashemi. She has very dark hair. She's kind of light to medium tone skin. She has dark hair that is not at all pulled back in any fashion. And she dresses kind of like a ragbag normally. She wears layers. She does not put things in a fashionable order, possibly just to irritate Artemisia, or to give her something to do. I don't know. And yeah, she is a little extra chaotic, we'll say. She's not chaotic fashionable. She's chaotic something else. So she'll open
paranoid. Shall we say?
Chaotic paranoid. I believe when I introduced her, I was like neutral as cynosure, chaotic as the bottom of your handbag. But she will open the present from Artemisia. Did you have something in mind for what this is?
Go for it. Just that it's the tea from the Temple of Slune. So there's more of that, and then sort of like in the middle, and then whatever clothing item, maybe a couple items, maybe something bright, maybe something like kind of basic.
I bet?
Yeah.
I bet there's like a little jacket in there. That's not exactly Artemisia's kind of fitted jacket, but it's got, you can tell someone with this preference in fashion has chosen it. So like this smart fitted jacket with like some clever little button pockets and brocade, which I think Cecilia's like, this goes on over my armor, or maybe there's a skirt that she can put on over her other skirt.
A note.
If I cut the sleeves off, I'd be able to really move with my hex blade.
There's a little note that's like, a neutral, is this a color like white or black or gray? And so you want to combine one neutral with one bright color. So and like, you can read her in a nod if you like.
She's gonna like start and you're like, oh my god, I'm so bored.
I think I suggested before that Artemisia would like go in and do like an osh-posh kosh bagosh thing to like put like little dragon on the dress that goes with the dragon jacket with the dragon shoes, and the little owlbear pants that go with the owlbear shirts, and yeah.
Possibly. You can't even trust me to get dressed, which is probably a reasonable thing. So okay, she will put on parts of this outfit as they fit, and what doesn't, she will wad up in a ball and shove in her bag.
Excellent.
It fit in there now.
So as you're finishing getting dressed, Sarshan reappears. Sarshan, for the benefit of our audience, is a muscular elf with a kind of vulpine aspect, like he looks aggressive, and his eyes are slightly slanted. He has light brown skin, very, very bright red hair that he wears basically free-flowing to the middle of his back. He dresses in red usually. He usually doesn't wear a shirt because he forgets. He never wears shoes because he has to draw the line somewhere. He does wear pants in deference to Cecilia's wishes.
Took a lot of work.
He often wears a cloak. He's not wearing a cloak right now, and you can see the sparkling silver tattoo over his back and shoulders. And he's holding 2 steaming mugs. You're up.
I am up.
I was told that sometimes ladies like to drink these in bed.
What is this?
This is me bringing you steaming calf in bed.
She'll take the mug. What's in
Mirren
the mug?
Mirren said I should do it. I'm not sure why.
She'll sit back down on the bed. But what's in the mug?
She said it was calf.
Just drink it. Aaron's not gonna poison me.
It tastes like coffee.
That's good.
Like Sarshan was trying to get that word.
Damn it, now I want a cup of coffee and it's way too late. Okay, but anyway, in the game.
Tastes vaguely cinnamony.
Well, that's just nice.
Yep. Mirren apparently really likes this beverage and thought you might as well.
Oh, sweet of her.
You hear, you see Cyril is batting at something.
Why are you acting like this?
He rolls over on his back. And Sarsha's like, that is a trap.
Better believe it. At least for you. Are you supposed to be bothering Artemisia?
Wow.
Okay. I don't know why he's not talking to me. I feel like he's trying to prove a point. But
I think he's asleep, Sarshan says.
Do you think something's wrong with him?
Oh no, I think that's how his mind works. He's simply forgotten himself and his life. He'll remember it in time, I'm sure.
Wait, he forgot, like... What?
Woo! Wow, that's a very striking. He puts it on the table.
Don't tell Artemisia you spit that all over the stuff she got me. She's gonna freak out.
I have just the thing. He goes over to the bundle that you've stuffed in your bag.
Huh?
And he starts leaving magic. And he goes, prestidigitation. And the coffee stains come out of it and fly out the window.
You know, I keep thinking I should learn this spell, but why bother? Everybody around me has it.
Right?
That seems efficient.
I'm the last one to think of it. So, okay. So, being that it is Greengrass, Cecilia feels an obligation to do the things that Rashemi do on Greengrass, which I made up today. Which is to leave some kind of offering for the winter spirits to say, have a nice break, don't come back mad. And then once it is properly Greengrass, you leave an offering for Bala, the harvest goddess, and the spring spirits that says, hey, yay, make it good.
So you've explained this to Sarshan, and he says,
Yes.
That seems wise. Where should we do this?
I don't know. I guess go out in the hills, I guess. Outside the city, it seems like, because I feel like if I leave it... Oh, wait, I have an idea. So actually, she's going to cast Summon Fae and bring the little red cap that's not a red cap.
Okay,
Except
David appears.
It has his name's David. And he has a fox skull for a head. Technically, David is from a spell that was given to her by her patron. I mean, her very good friend, because she's not a warlock.
Right.
She's definitely a devoted Rashemi witch.
Definitely.
If anyone asks.
You can see it right there on the screen.
Right? It says it under my name. Who are you to argue with that?
Right. Down there, you see.
So it is a little like Westgate is not really a place where the spirits of the land are very accessible, but technically David is attached to a winter court of some sort. So this feels like it could count. So so the little red cap appears, right? It's like a little kind of squat fairy with a fox skull for a head and like little glowing eyes. He's holding an axe.
Yep.
And I did.
Capers back and forth.
Everybody wants him to have a hat, so he does have a hat. He has
Excellent.
a red hat.
Is it like a little tight bowler cap? Bowler hat?
I was imagining it was like a little
Stylish.
red Papa Smurf hat. Because,
Nice.
because everybody's like, well, he's a red cap, so he has a red hat. And I was like, I really was going for a squat, violent fairy with an axe, mostly. But okay, I concede. And that's fine, because I think it's
kind
of
of my hat?
good. Okay, happy Greengrass. And she's gonna look around and she's gonna pick up the bird skeleton and she's gonna pick up the half cup of coffee. And she's gonna be like, here you go. Have a good spring.
Aha! He takes the bird skeleton, he takes the cup of coffee, he dunks the bird skeleton in the coffee.
No.
He starts just chowing down on it. What a wonderful gift. Ah.
Okay, I'm done with that part, I think.
He says, what is your will, my lady?
Mostly, I just want you to take this stuff and convey back to anybody you come across that I hope they have a very nice spring and come back to winter cheerful. Do you know the frost goddess? Do you know Auril? Can you tell her that?
You wish me to deliver a message to Auril specifically?
Only if you come across her, because I feel like if you don't have to talk to Auril, you shouldn't.
What an interesting conundrum. I think you are correct. Sarshan says, I'm not sure who this Auril is, but I also think you're correct.
But that's it. So if you want to go, that's okay.
Very well. Here I go. Here I go. You won't see me. No, no, no. Poof. And then the room fills with darkness.
I'm just going to reach
Sarshan
out
says,
and sort of like try and pat him. Is he there still?
Nope, he has fled.
He just left it?
He's gone.
Okay, I'm going to try to like grip in the darkness and grab Sarshan's hand.
Sarshan easily takes your hand.
And we'll just like make our way out of here. Because sitting in a dark room sounds really boring. And I will totally go back to sleep.
All right.
I guess we can bounce back to Briar House.
Sarshan says, oh, you wish to go to Briar House?
Yeah. I would say thank you for the present.
That sounds like a very wonderful thing to do. Would it not be traditional for friends to gather on a festival day such as this?
That is true.
Maybe everyone will be there already.
Maybe.
Fantastic. I should like to see friend Sturge again.
I feel like I should question what shenanigans are going to rise from Sarshan and Sturge.
He and I had a wonderful conversation with Ruin. It's going to be very, very hilarious what Ruin does with regard to Rogar.
Oh no. Oh no. What are you going to do?
I just gave him some advice to seem more spontaneous.
To Ruin?
Yes.
Oh. And
I
let's
know,
just clarify
right?
for
It'll
a
be
second.
hilarious.
That's Cecilian Artemisia's half-brother as well. So there's a kind of double urge here because Rogar is a friend, and Ruan is someone that she doesn't know Ruan that well, but she doesn't dislike, and so you don't want something bad to happen, especially to Rogar. But also it's your brother, so you kind of want to see something funny happen.
Right? Sarshan says. Decisions. Let's away. All right. So you start heading over for Briar House. Mirren is up and about and could teleport you.
I thought we can just use the circle.
Yeah, you can. Mirren's like,
or
yes.
we walk. It's a beautiful spring day.
It went so well last time.
Or we walk. When you make haste out of there. All right. So, speaking of Sturge, you are up in the docks, checking on your contacts, because you have heard about a particular Night Mask hideout, and you were trying to figure out exactly where it is and the basics about it. So why don't you tell us in what circumstances we see you?
Does he know which house it is? Cross-referencing it with the map.
You are meeting with a contact. Yes, you know which house it is. You're meeting with a contact who supposedly has learned a bit about the defenses, sentries, things like that.
So Sturge, he has cased this place already in the form of a rather lanky poop shoveling boy whose job is to shovel
involve
the
shoveling
poop.
poop?
Yeah, he goes through and he shovels poop and he shovels it to the gutter so that it's not out in the main road and where people or on the sidewalks where people will step on it, mostly horse poop. And
this is a legitimate career in Westgate.
And he's an actor by trade. Many years as an actor before he came to Westgate in search of his long lost brother. But that's another story entirely in season 1. And so he's very good at acting like a kind of a half-wit whose only job is to shovel poo, and he's very good at it and happy with it. And but it also gives him a chance to be kind of slow at it, which lets him check out this place. And so he's getting a good look at the outside. And
it's a 2-story inn, which appears to be largely okay. It doesn't appear to be in business, but there are candle lights in some of the windows at night, so you know that there are people still using it. Since the destruction of part of Westgate, travel has been limited, so the inn is mostly closed down.
Nobody wants to come to a smoking ruin.
Imagine that.
So, does he know it from before? Like, it's been active, it's been a semi-successful inn up till now?
Yes, you've never actually been there.
Okay.
It's called the Broken Buckle. Or it was when it was in operation. And you are meeting with my favorite of your contacts. His name is Faltest Fargazer. And he is a dwarf sailor.
Oh, this one.
Ah.
All right.
Friend Sturge. It's so good to see you, my friend.
So by the time he goes to meet Fargazer, he has dropped his disguise and gotten rid of the shovel.
Now you are no longer a tall, lanky boy, but a tall, lanky young man.
Well, he's not that young.
All right.
Middle-aged. There might be a streak or two in his black hair of gray. He Sturgis is lanky and tall. Fargazer finds him reclining at a chair, an outdoor chair in the at an outdoor table at the Black Boot, and which is the very first pub that Sturge actually worked there for a while when he was just making the transition from actor to adventurer. And he is got his boots up on the table. He is actually, well, he's dressed as he normally is in black on black brocaded tunic with crow feather black half cape that mounds up around his head, long, lank, black hair, long, white, pale nose, probably 8-inch long nose.
And keeps all his secrets in the
nose. His legs, kind of stork-like, long, black breeches. He's sitting there. That he does know, however, that this is green something, Greengrass Day, and he knows that his mortal friends will all have ideas about celebrating, and so he's gone. There's a stack of gifts next to him, all packaged up, and every one of them is from Artemisa's shop. And he has secretly taken measurements of all of them using sleight of hand to find out their measurements to make
sleight of hand and your disembodied mage hand.
Yes, and the disembodied mage hand to tell her what he would like to get them. And so and he himself is wearing. This is his one nod toward Greengrass. He's wearing a nicely tailored, of course, because Artemisia made it, or her people did, floral print vest. Normally it would be kind of like Snape wears, a black vest on black tunic, but this is a floral print vest, and he has floral gaiters on his boots as well, which he's got up on the table to show off a little bit. But in each of these packages, a little piece of the same floral print item of clothing for his friends.
Oh my God, we're gonna look like the Von Trapp children.
Yes.
So Westgate is alive.
So Faltest comes over, and he's carrying this pitcher and 2 tankards, and he sets the tankards down, and he starts pouring this green ale into the tankards. And he says, this is the ale you need to be drinking on Greengrass.
What exactly is that? Is it, in fact, grass juice?
It'd be flavored with grass juice.
I see.
Long ago, when I was but a wee lad, and he looks out across the sea of fallen stars, and he just kind of trails off into the distance, as he is prone to do.
Wake up, wake up.
Ah, what was it saying? Ah, yes, the ale. You be having some ale with me. And he clinks it against your tankard.
Sturge instead picks up his already purchased bubbling mead flute and clinks it with his tankard.
Okay. The dwarf just drinks down the ale. Ah.
You have news for me, Farseer.
I do. I've been watching the broken buckle that you've been asking me to watch, and it turns out that there are indeed folk who come and go at different times. The black boot happens to be not too far away from the broken buckle, so he gestures with his tankard. He says, "There's a balcony. Upon this balcony is where they station their crossbowmen sentries. You try and approach the inn on its own, you'd be feathered within seconds, no doubt. You should be trying to find some subtle way in.
Good
Around
advice.
the back, there's a fine area of green with a fountain and everything. The fountain isn't be working, but grass be growing up through the stones, like nature be reclaiming its territory. I went back there briefly, and then they chased me out. They didn't seem to be liking me sea shanties, even though they're very popular these days."
Would you sing one for me now, Fargazer?
I'd be singing you a sea shanty. Oh, once away, away they went. The dwarven maids, the beards be flying far. And o'er the sails and o'er the waves they passed and see a fallen star. And then he goes on like that for a while.
Very good, very good. I give him a little applause.
Heedless of your applause, he goes into the second verse. Much bawdier than the first. But you seem to have got the information from him that there are crossbow sentries and there might be a secret way kind of around the back.
I see. And in my earlier incarnation of the poop shoveler, was I able to see that back area?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure enough, there are grass and trees growing back there, and there is a fountain with some kind of sculpture in it. You didn't really pay too close attention, but there's no water in that fountain.
And
maybe there is, but it's not flowing.
Okay. And I can visualize the balconies and so on that he's talking about.
You know exactly what he's talking about. There's an open balcony on the second floor.
This is good. Well, thank you, friend Farseer. Here is your payment for the information, and as usual, the bonus for the special information you've given me.
Okay, so you plunk down some coins.
I think if you would not mind, I'm going to take a little bit of a nap while you sing another shanty.
It'd be getting long in the day. Do you not be having other business, me friend?
I do, but first a nap. Thank you for joining me. I will see you tomorrow, I suppose, or the next day, or the next.
All right, he starts singing more shanty.
Okay, so here's
everyone around is looking like, stop. And Sturge is like.
So Sturge has another reason for this. He basically wants the guy to leave, but if he'll sing, that's fine too. Sturge is going to go like this, so that no one can see his eyes or anything, and he's going to act like he's listening. He's really savoring this, but what he's actually doing is casting clairvoyance, and he's going to put the eyeball of the clairvoyance inside the front door of that inn.
So you're going to see if you can collect some information about the
and just see if anything's going on in there, and if not, he'll switch it to audible and see if you can hear anything. Maybe they're nocturnal, so maybe nothing will be going on, but say 10 feet past the front door.
All right. Okay. So I will. I'm mostly going to put the incursion into the hideout into another episode, but I'll give you a little bit of foreshadowing.
Sure.
So you see inside. It looks like a fairly rundown inn that's been out of operation. The front room it's full of chairs that are covered with dust. There are some that have blankets over them. It appears to have been kind of hastily abandoned. And your eye is kind of looking around. And for a second, you think that maybe you've got the wrong place, but then you see kind of a shadowy form slip past in the hallway. And you realize that there are people in there. They're just being subtle. And that's about all the information. Once you actually get to the map, I will let you have uncovered part of the map to start.
Okay, and
Nice.
All right, so they are active during the day. That's what I've noticed. Do I see? Are they wearing masks like night masks do, or
one of them pauses and looks around? And does your clairvoyance allow you to have sound as well, or is it just sight?
If I see lips moving, I can switch it to sound.
All right. Well, you don't really. It's too dark to see very clearly. But one of them clearly says something to another one, who comes forward and starts weaving his hands through a spell.
I'll go ahead and drop my spell.
Okay. You drop your spell before whatever spell he was casting finishes.
Yeah.
All right. So you're pretty sure there's something fishy going on in there. But you saw, as he came closer to the sensor, he did have a night mask wrapped around his neck.
Excellent. Okay. Is the shanty over?
Shanty goes on for many verses.
Why would you even ask?
As we established canonically, dwarven songs tend to be at least an hour long.
Oh God,
that's a short one.
That's a short one. That's meant for like rowing to shore.
That's the equivalent of "Happy Birthday" is an hour long.
Anyway, not too far away.
I just wanted really quickly.
Yeah.
I just, my ears perked up when Sturge said, "Got something for my mortal friends," and I was wondering, does that mean he doesn't think that he is mortal, or does that mean he has
all his other
immortal
friends are immortal?
Yeah.
What a good
Curious
question. I think he seeded that specifically. Anyway,
okay.
Not too far away. The previous
Paul. Sorry.
Number. It's another insert scene. A number of darkly clad figures gathers in an alley, the gleam of gold in a pouch they hold between them. As they haggle over the take, a gray-cloaked avenger looms over them atop the rainy rooftop far above. Slowly and smoothly, Shadowbane draws out his massive two-handed axe, ready to spring. Then shouts ring out, and knights of the Eye of Justice stream into the alley, striking down the thieves and taking them into custody. They carve out order on the streets with blades and crush resistance with maces. Levia, one of them, asks the half-elf woman who commands them, "My lady?" She is looking up toward the rooftop, but there's nothing there. She shakes her head, distantly saddened. "Carry on," she says. And the Eye of Justice goes about its business, into the night. All right. Speaking of the Eye of Justice, Stong, you have been in prison for quite some time. It is the previous evening, not the day of Greengrass, the previous evening. And they've treated you fairly well in prison, but kind of cautiously because of the heinous things that you are alleged to have done. Why don't you tell us about yourself and about the circumstances that see you in this prison?
All right. Stong Macguk is a huge half-orc of prodigious size and prodigious girth. He has tremendous strength that's only matched by his tremendous friendliness. He has dark, ash-colored skin and jet black hair, which falls into a great mane along his down his back and along his shoulders in like wild, unkept clumps. You're not quite sure what keeps his hair in clumps, but nobody's really touched them to find out. He also has these faint, angry marks on his hands. It looks like he might have been horrendously burnt at one point.
Looking down at your hands.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
It was just a little faint for a second there.
Okay.
That's fine.
You're looking down at your hands because normally you would be holding your adopted daughter Mirabelle in your hands. But she is not in the jail with you. You have left her in the capable care of Lady Kiko and Nala and whoever else among the irregulars wanted to take a turn watching her, which means none of those people have had a long rest since the previous event. No. Mirabelle, for the benefit of the audience, is a small child of 3 years of age, 2 years of age, 3 years, unclear.
She has not looked like she has changed a day.
Right. She has kind of a devilish aspect, kind of pink, reddish skin, horns. She's adorable. Stong takes her everywhere except into this prison. Maybe you took her to the prison initially, but the wailing and crying kept everyone awake, and the Eye of Justice Knights just kept bothering you. And one of the times that Cecilia came to visit, you gave her to Cecilia and entrusted her to take care of her, something like that.
I take excellent care of Mirabelle.
Yeah, it would make a lot more sense.
I gave her her first shiv.
I think maybe you told Stong that at one point, and oftentimes Stong thinks, yeah, I got my first shift back in the orc tribe around this age. So that's great. She's on the right track.
I fully approve of Stong's parenting. You're the best dad I know.
Thank you.
The bar is pretty low, but still.
So just real quick, Sturge does drop off Stong's gift at the prison.
Okay. So Sturge has dropped off your gift before Greengrass. Because this is the night before, right?
Oh, sorry.
So is the gift there now, or are you going to?
No, I thought it was Greengrass already. So no, okay. But he will.
So you haven't dropped it off yet.
No, he'll just do his regular harmonica thing.
How does Stong pass his days in prison? Singing, composing new hits.
I think he tries, but I think his mind is a little distracted by the events of Westgate at the end of season 1, and they still haunt him. And he thinks about all the ways that he could possibly make amends for the things that he's done to the city. And I think he also occasionally he marks the time. So you see like check marks or like tick marks on the wall, because he has promised that he would find a place in the city for the Githyanki raiders within a month.
Yeah,
or
it
else
has been 20 days or so. Ooh. So it's been almost a month. Okay. Not quite a month, almost a month. You were not planning on going to prison when you made that promise.
Yeah, who plans on going to prison, I guess.
Yeah. Anyway.
Wasn't there some teeth in that promise too?
Yeah, if he doesn't find them a place in the city, then he forfeits his life to Scaresair, his Githyanki not girlfriend.
Okay. So you wake up thinking about Mirabelle. You spend the day thinking about Mirabelle and the city. You go to sleep thinking about Mirabelle. One night, you awaken with a start from a dream that may have involved a dark book wrapped in human flesh. And you see the door to your cell is open.
Okay. He quickly listens.
Okay.
Does there seem to be anything amiss?
You don't see any light. I mean, there are torches flickering out in the corridor, and there's moonlight coming through the window.
Well, okay, that's a critical perception, so 23.
Ah, okay. You hear soft footsteps out in the corridor. Very, very soft, like slippered feet.
Can I identify if this footstep is walking like urgently or kind of casually?
Walking kind of casually and toward you.
Stong is going to cast True Sight on himself, and he is going to sit on the floor of his cell and wait for this individual to approach.
All right. The soft footsteps grow nearer. They are surprisingly soft considering the scale of the woman who ducks casually through the door into the cell to join you. She stands at least 8 feet tall, of dark and sensual aspect, with coppery skin and horns that curl up from her forehead. Her black eyes smile at you just as brightly as her curled dark lips. "Stong Makuk," she says, her voice warm, husky, and just a bit threatening. "At last we meet."
Buck-bow.
I
Hello?
don't know who this is.
I don't believe I've met your acquaintance.
No, you don't know me. Ah, but I know you.
Are you a fan of my music? Are you here for an autograph?
Just, break into a prison, get the autograph.
She smiles. She says, "This is an unusual experience for me. Most folk are terrified to see me. Some even vomit. But you, no. Your will is strong. I am Glazia, Archduchess of Malbolge."
Does Stong actually know who she is?
Aaron, do you know who that is?
You put my girl in this game and you didn't tell me this was happening.
I know. I was like, did you know?
I'm suddenly very flustered.
Oh, is Aaron suddenly taking over to this character?
No, that's fine.
No.
I know. I did that intentionally, Aaron.
But does Stong actually know who that is?
Make a bardic knowledge check.
Would that be like religion?
Sure.
It's 21.
Okay, Glazia, as mentioned, is the Archduchess of Malbolge, which is the 6th layer of the Nine Hells.
It is.
She is the daughter of Asmodeus, who is the king of the Nine Hells.
Dang.
And she is an archdevil.
Dang.
So Yang Yang does not like where this is going. But Stong,
Really?
yeah.
Why is that?
No reason. So
Do
Stong,
not fear, she says. I have come to extend to you a boon for your services.
So I think Stong, suddenly realizing that he's in the presence of royalty of some sort, tries to prestidigitate and clean the cell as much as he can, and then he offers her a seat on the cot, and he says, "Your Highness, please, I didn't mean to be rude. I didn't realize who you were at first."
You are not rude, you intrigue me. And thus, I have come to give this to you. I know what it is that you desire most.
Oh?
Yes. Strength.
That is true. I need this strength in order to fight off the enemies that threaten my friends and I.
You have already fought off one enemy that threatened your friends and you, and that was the influence of my father. Very few mortals have fought off my father's influence.
Wait. So it was your father's influence through the book that took over my mind and caused all of this destruction in Westgate.
Well, it was his book, yes.
Is your gift going to come with strings attached?
Don't they
Do
all?
not insult me. I am a queen of hell. I never give gifts that do not benefit me in return. This boon will be essential to your path forward, and it is in my interest that you succeed.
Well, tell me what it is.
I will give you strength.
How
Show
much
to
strength?
me where on your body you shall bear my mark.
Whoa. Your Highness.
Come on, free tattoo.
Coach.
True. That's a good
Prison
value,
ink.
great coupon. Yeah.
Prison ink.
Oh my god, true. What's the catch? Like what do you benefit from helping me?
Well, her cheeks take on a faint pinkish hue. Archlord I may be, Beitsu I may be, but I am yet a woman and you are a man. Is this not
What?
true?
Oh,
You
fuck.
can stand to look
Yes.
upon me and not tremble as you do.
It's a total turn on.
You will be my champion.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And that
Champion?
means you wish me to take care of some of your enemies? Must I murder for you?
I wish you to do what you will do, and what you have done. That is all.
Sing silly songs?
I do not wish you to die, shall I say.
Okay. Then we agree on that.
If you die, you are useless to me. For your soul will not come to me yet.
Do you
Who's
have...
got the claim?
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's
Are-
a
do
point
you-
Stong might not realize. Also, I would not. I mean, Stong might not realize it, but I would not buy that garbage about you being hot. Not that you're not.
You know, it's only your friends that tell you the cutting truth, no matter how bitter it might be.
I mean, is Laja is an archlord. That's a dumb reason.
Yeah.
Maybe Stong doesn't think that.
No, I don't think he necessarily
I don't
does.
think he'd probably pick up on it. But
Yeah. So I think Stong is a very open-minded orc, you know, or half orc coming from an orc tribe. He kind of doesn't equate moral good with being right, you know, all the time. So he recognizes that, like, you know, different creatures have different ways of operating, different cultures have different definitions, you know, of good. So he's very open-minded, for good and bad. So I think that in this case, all he wants to ask, and he wants to make sure, this strength that you offer me, is this strength enough to defeat any enemy that comes my way in Westgate?
No strength is strength enough to defeat any enemy.
I mean, just in Westgate.
Strength must be tempered with skill and wisdom and insight. You know this.
So technically, you're offering me something that is only marginally beneficial, but then I must commit my eternal soul to you.
Whoa.
I said nothing of the sort, but if it's on the table.
Okay. My
flesh
manager's not
hurt.
here.
Her flesh fades as though by magic, but her smile does not. She looks a bit more sinister now. I do not care for your prevarications. You, mortal, are incidental. It is your stewardship that matters to me.
Am I allowed to have any time to consider this?
What is there to consider?
Well, I mean, my manager's not here, and I'm not really good at making deals.
I will
without
not
her.
interfere with your manager.
Plus, she gets 20% of whatever I get. So,
Oh
did
my
you just
god.
bargain out 20% of my immortal soul? Is that what happened?
well, I mean, not yet.
You get 20% of his strength, though, so.
Okay, well.
I see. You will, of course, submit a copy of your contract with your manager, signed and dated in triplicate.
Well, of course.
Of course. I will have my people commune with your people.
Okay.
Show me where on your body you wish to bear my mark. Bear in mind that I must kiss you to deliver it.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm sorry. Huh?
The taint.
So we have different videos.
Why did you?
Hey,
Did you say her
PG-13.
teeth?
No,
Don't
that is
ask
not.
me to repeat
Don't
it.
just. We'll move on.
I mean, this
Okay,
is
first
prison,
of all,
so
if you would like to make an insight check, feel free.
Sure. Okay.
I'm just saying, that's where no one will ever see it. So
I mean, are you sure? Anyway, it's 15.
Okay. She seems to be enjoying making you uncomfortable.
I mean, he certainly is like,
Mhm.
I kind of have a not girlfriend, but she might get a little jealous. She found out. So how about on the hand?
Really? So openly you would wear my mark. How flattering.
I mean, should I not? Is this a bad mark? Are people going to?
Are you ashamed of me?
I wasn't until a moment ago. I mean, you warned me about it.
It is traditional for my mark to be upon the neck.
Oh,
She touches her neck.
okay.
Or over the heart. She touches her rather nice chest.
Oh, no. How
Or
about?
somewhat more intimate a place.
I mean, he's not really one to buck tradition. Like, if it's a cultural thing, then he maybe would choose somewhere that's like not that romantic on the neck. So perhaps like in the back.
The
here.
back, like the base of the spine.
Well, right
I
on
feel
the
obligated
snout.
to point out Frida's mark was on her arm. But that's free. Glaja is free to tell
Oh,
Stong
yeah.
anything he wants.
Oh.
I just want to make sure you know that.
I know that.
So here we are.
Yeah.
Stong's gonna lift
Stong
his,
doesn't know that.
Stong's gonna lift his like long, luxurious, nappy locks, and then
Okay.
reveal like a spot on his neck.
Okay.
On the back.
Very well. She leans in and kisses you on the back of the neck. It feels hot and painful and pleasurable all at the same time. And then she is gone, and you are alone in the prison cell. But you feel strength flowing through you. Your arms, just like you can feel blood, like the heat from the mark flows into your arms and into your legs and into your chest. And your strength score increases by 2.
Sweet.
I'm glad to see your time in prison has taught you some valuable lessons, Stong. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Here we go again.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just say yes.
right.
Hey,
I mean,
nobody can
yeah.
give Artemisia shit about Lilton.
Technically,
Well, it's not like
we
ours-
don't know about this, but as soon
That's
as
true.
we do,
It's,
And
Yeah.
as soon as we do.
it's
And
not
this
like any of our
hides it.
characters'
It could have been-
insecurities and stuff just suddenly disappeared at the end of season 1. So it's
Also, it could have been weirder. It could have been Fierna. So
Mhm. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
his hair hides it most of the time when it's down.
All right, so when next you are aware, the sun has risen, the door is closed again, and you become aware because you hear the door opening. And Levia Shadewalker, who is a leader in the Eye of Justice, comes in and she says, "Good news, Stong Makek. You're free
Oh.
to go."
Really?
Well, it is a tradition to release a prisoner on Greengrass to celebrate the return of life to the world.
And I'm the lucky prisoner?
Yes, well, in truth, the investigation has found no evidence of wrongdoing on your part.
I think he lets out this little sigh of relief, and it looks like there's like a bit of tension that escapes his body at that point. But I think he
Okay.
still feels guilty about it.
Levia is watching you very closely. as she's speaking, so she might pick up on that.
It's good that, I suppose the justice system found me innocent. But it'll be much harder for me
I
to
wouldn't
not
say
convict myself.
innocent. I would simply say not guilty. Watch yourself, Stong Metgunk. Take care. And do go see your friends. I suspect they'll be happy to see you.
I've missed them a great deal. It will be nice to see them and to hold my daughter again.
Happy spring, she says, and you head off. And I think that's a good time for us to take our break. We typically take a break in the middle of the show, cue us up for 10 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll have a everyone together scene.
Do we have a discussion topic?
Yes, discussion topic.
Also, I gave people some subscriptions. Happy season 2!
Oh, wow. Thank you, Aaron. Oh, yeah, be grateful to Aaron's generosity.
It's Greengrass! Have a present. There we go.
Nice.
What's a good spring present for your character in Forgotten Realms to give or to get?
Awesome.
Good one. Good
Make
one.
up some crazy lore for us.
Another discussion
Oh,
topic.
hey!
Oh,
Morgans!
thank you, Subcritical Roll.
Greengrass!
Wow.
Oh, thank you, Meyer Doug.
I love
Oh my
it.
God, look at you
Jade!
stunning. Oh,
Wow.
Oh,
thank
the
you.
spirit of Greengrass is in all of us.
Indeed.
Another
You guys are
discussion.
awesome.
Another discussion topic might be, what does Glazia want from Stong?
How can Aaron wait? Shadowbane is Helm or Torm? Helm?
Helm.
Yeah. How can Aaron use Helm in a game to make Eric squirm?
Yes.
That'd be good.
When should the
That'd be
Hell
good.
Wasps come in? And why wasn't it just right now?
Yeah.
All right. Don't go away.
I'm-
We'll be back in about 10 minutes. And we're back. Obviously, we're chuckling while we're coming back. We were just talking about how I need to use Hell Wasps if I'm going to keep
He
using
does.
Glazia. So,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
Wired.
I just figured I didn't want to kill Stong immediately. Anyway.
That's good.
They're for intimidation purposes mostly.
They're kind of
Because you get hyper loyal like devilish wasps
kidding.
that are the size of dogs with sword arms.
It's
right,
not
who are
cuddly
like-
about that.
They're like the lady wishes, right? Like you don't want to mess around with them. They're definitely terrifying if they attack you, but mostly they're there to compel you into doing what Glazia wants because they're scary.
We will say that when Glazia disappeared, you did hear the buzzing of wings, but you didn't see any Hell
I
Wasps.
won't make Helm act like a dumb, like jock bro.
That's okay.
You
That's
should.
okay.
You should.
That
I
is
do.
okay. Wizards has already done that. So,
That's fair.
woo,
They've done things with Glazia that I definitely
this
don't
is a
agree
spicy
with.
game.
Right.
That's
That's okay. There's space
So,
for lots of versions.
The
If you don't know what a Hell Wasp looks like, viewer, you should look it up because it's worth it.
the group is gathering. I'm gonna look up Hell Wasp myself.
You could read Brimstone Angels.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, Glazia is a character from the Brimstone Angels books, which you should definitely read. Okay, there we go. All right, so. Oh, hey, look at that. I'm just looking up Hell Wasps. No reason.
Oh no.
Effing cool, that's
Um,
why.
All right, so it is. We've now caught back up with the timeline. It is the afternoon, or rather, late sun of Greengrass. The sun has reached its zenith and is starting to set, which kind of indicates that it signals the time for parties to start up in the city. Westgate has been battered by its recent catastrophes, but you see life among the rubble start emerging, and you see fireworks appear over the city. You hear music, people dancing. Many of the taverns are serving this green grass soaked and steeped ale, which tastes a lot like what we Americans would call an IPA. Anyway.
On St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, well, kind of.
I am absolutely picturing this as like an IPA with like a wheatgrass shot dumped in it.
Yeah, exactly. And find yourselves drawn back to Briarhouse. I think Stong is going to be the last to arrive. So if you want to put us on roll 20 there, Yang Yang.
Okay.
I think we need to do that. An IPA with a wheatgrass shot in it. And
we keep like half inventing cocktails for this stream.
Well, we have the almond champagne for the Tsar. And we have
whatever a horse elixir is.
IPA shot and the horse elixir, which
there was something else.
Oh, buddy.
Chat, if you remember there was some cocktail that came up last time. Oh no, sorry, that was on the Discord, I believe. So if you want to hear about nonsense cocktails, join our Discord.
That's right.
Because
yeah, we'll
Nate knew something about gin tequila.
We'll have to come out with an irregulars, drink menu at some point for sure.
None of us are bartenders.
Yeah,
we don't know what we're doing.
We don't.
Maybe the bingo game can shift to a drinking game. Like every time Sturge mutes himself, you have to drink a horse elixir. All right.
Are there other drinks with horse in the name? Because we could just tweak it a little.
Oh, I'm sure
that was my suggestion. But I don't remember what it was. It had rye in it. I remember that.
Oh, okay. We can look at it. We'll figure it out. If it's an elixir, it has to have bubbles, right? Like something bubbles.
Or syrupy. One or the other.
Oh, syrupy. Okay. Good old Briarhouse.
This is very odd. Chrome has basically crashed for me. I don't know why.
Well, Sturge is going to go.
Anyway.
Sturge is going to go out into the rose garden to visit his brother's grave.
Mm-hmm. Well, wouldn't that be back on the old lot where Briarhouse used to be?
Oh no, it came with. See,
it went.
Oh, okay.
It did go to the Astral Dreadnought somehow.
I remember his brother's corpse crawling
that's right.
out of the. Yes.
Oh.
Right.
And it's in the rose garden, and just so everybody knows, all of the windows in Briarhouse look at the rose garden because it's really pretty, and who wouldn't want to look out on the rose garden? So all the windows, that's what the view is.
Deeply wrong with this house. I don't think any of us have put our finger on it.
All right, Sturge, you're standing over your brother's grave.
Yeah, just for now. I thought you were while you were I thought your Chrome crashed, so I just thought, while he's doing that, I'll go ahead. Now he's going back to his spot by the fireplace. Is Stong back? He's going to give Stong a big hug. Well, not really, just kind of a bro pat on the back.
That's like a big hug from Sturge.
It is, yeah.
It is.
Got you a present, Stong.
Wait, is Stong back? I don't see his token, so I assume he's not yet.
Sorry, I just got to Shanghai'd everything. Go ahead, Eric.
Oh, wow. Eric.
I think Eric froze.
Eric got hit by a glitch in the Matrix.
Okay, so
that's my paralyzed wand.
In previous versions of this possibility, I've been the substitute. However, I don't know. Roll20 is also my favorite enemy.
Yeah, I don't think we're doing Roll20 without Eric. So
I don't know how to make.
But we just all kind of start showing up, trailing.
Yeah, well, and I did a
fully lost Eric. Okay, I'll come back.
I can describe Briarhouse just descriptively.
Okay. He's having computer problems. He says, "Talk amongst ourselves." So
We've got
let's
the
talk about Briarhouse.
screen whenever we have uh-ohs.
Briarhouse and a brief history of Briarhouse.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty interesting too.
What do you do as D&D players when your DM suddenly drops?
So I will say, if we were chatting before about what Greengrass traditions would be in our various homelands, because none of us are actually from Westgate. Mm-hmm. We just all kind of moved here for reasons. And actually, this house is kind of our anchor point now.
Yep.
So this is what you do when the teacher's out of the room. You go to the chalkboard and you write things.
Well, I love those D&D memes.
God.
I mean, there's those D&D memes that are like where the DM's just Or isn't it great to be the DM when you can just sit back and the characters all just basically do everything and you don't have to say anything? I think we're pretty close to that group. Like we have such strong characters and know our characters so well.
Okay, so let's see. Here we are. Artemisia, you are already in Briar House, correct? Yeah. And it looks like Sturge, you have arrived already.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a fairly constrained, not too large, but it does have a sense of sort of small grandeur to it. The staircase, there's this sort of sweep going up to the next floor rather than a little tiny pokey sort of spiral staircase. So you could make a grand entrance on it. Everywhere is absolutely perfectly clean.
Steven, stop.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Did you write poop?
Yeah,
He's writing things on the board, apparently.
Oh,
I zoomed in enough so people couldn't read it, but now they know. Now the secret's out.
You're just like, this is what my students do. I'm just gonna get it out of my system to do it back. All right, sorry. Quiet grandeur.
Oh, hey, there's
Quiet
Eric.
grandeur. Very well decorated. And the common rooms and also Artemisia's own rooms have sort of a polished metal, silvery sort of bluish touches, very vibrant blue in the wall hangings and the carpets and things like that. But then other areas in the house are as people sort of want to make them. She's definitely let people make each room their own. But her sort of decorating touch is definitely the sort of polished silver, blue, jewel tone kind of colors.
Welcome back. We described Briar House.
And Briar House has
Rhiannon,
been
describe
recently
Briar House. Good job,
returned.
Rhiannon.
Briar House has been recently returned to us.
Yes.
It was it got banished by Mirren by accident. One of her many like, oops, my spell didn't quite go as I intended incidents.
It did keep people safe.
Did keep people safe in
Mostly.
the belly of an astral dreadnought in the astral sea. So yeah.
My whole computer crashed. I have no idea what's going on with that, but
Celdrine suggested you have hell wasps in your computer.
yeah, maybe.
They were mad you didn't include them. Sorry.
The chat suggested that it's more like Eric to bye.
Oh,
Pretty funny.
wow.
Yeah, so
Chat is sharp.
Anyway.
Gracia, get the horns.
here I am. So
Got a very punny chat.
all right. So everyone is gathered at Briar House, or they are slowly arriving. I would imagine that Rogar and Ruin are the next to arrive after Sturge, carrying a big bundle of gifts.
Don't peek. And he's happy to see Sturge too, because it's like, oh, Sturge. Just two things really quick. One, well, that was a horrible name for his stick. And two, but two, I realized, I was thinking back, and you're sort of unexpectedly, I think, one of the wisest people here. I think back on how much of the times when I've been troubled, you've actually given me really good advice. So I'd like to talk to you later a bit, when it's quiet. Not now, but... And when you're not muted.
Oh, there you
Hit that
go.
bingo square!
Once a session.
Oh.
Thank
Never
you,
misses.
Rogar. I got you a gift.
I got you a gift.
Really? Well, here it is. If you don't like it, blame Artemisia. She designed it. If you like it, thank her. I asked her to do it, but she's got all the wit, with the style and so on.
I start opening it, and as I'm opening it, I'm saying, should I wait to open it until, is there...
No, it's quite all right, quite all right.
Oh, okay, good. I'm really bad at waiting to open them. Oh, it's a lovely...
Taybird.
Oh, Oh, is it floral print?
Indeed, you'll notice it matches my waistcoat.
Artemisia wishes to note that Sturge probably specified the fabric. So she had nothing to do with the choice of the fabric.
Probably a very attractive floral print. But
It's like a Liberty print.
maybe I'll
I'll go put it on right now. Thank you.
Excellent. It will look smashing on you.
Actually, I kind of like it, but
Ren chimes in and says, "Yes, smashing."
it's got plants and flowers. Oh, you probably like it quite a bit, right? Because
Yes,
druid and all.
Nature.
of course, if you like it.
Uh-oh. She's there with you, Ruin.
Is that you don't quite like the pattern, or is that I'd rather see you not wearing anything kind of a comment on?
Ah, yes. The
Oh,
latter.
okay. Oh.
Let's.
Dodge.
I
I didn't know druids got dodge.
I think I'm gonna wait till everyone's gathered and I'll handle
One of the
my
optional
gifts.
class features from Tasha's.
Dodge uncomfortable situation.
All right.
Yeah.
Cecilia and Sarshan arrive.
All right.
Sturge is going to stand in such a way that she can notice his stylish waistcoat and gaiters.
Is he
That's
more
very
colorful than
festive.
usual?
What?
Thank you. I do make some effort every now and then. Your sister made these for me. I have something for you as well. Here you are.
Oh. Is it a thing? People give presents on Greengrass? Okay, thank you.
It's the one thing I can do that, doesn't make me feel alien. Go on.
Well,
open.
I'm glad to hear that. It's kind of a weird thing to say.
That's the one thing you can do?
Well, alien to the festivities. This not much for parties.
Where are you from? You're from Aglaron, though, aren't you?
Well, so they say. I was raised there. Go on and open it.
Apparently Aglaron, they give clothes. Okay, and what do I have?
Well, I'm gonna let Artemisia explain the two things that Rhiannon herself got in this print, and Cecilia. Scarves is what I suggested.
Yeah, probably scarves.
Yeah.
If she was going with this print. Because I'm assuming that, like, having suggested that everybody get the same print, she's sort of picking things that would mostly go with people's styles in this print, and a scarf seems like a good bet for Cecilia.
You could like tie your hair up with it, or wrap it around your neck, or stick it in your back pocket. Like
Belt.
yeah, belt. There you go.
Belt number 2.
Yeah,
Make sure
looks
everything's
good on you. Yes.
Thank you. That's very nice.
Sarshan
very
nudges
springy.
Cecilia with his elbow.
What?
It's a tradition to give gifts, is it? He's not whispering or anything. Like, he just says that.
I mean, I guess in some places.
Ah.
We don't do that in Rashomon, just in case you were expecting something from me. Like,
No.
you give presents to the spirits and the fairies and stuff.
He rustles through his bag and he pulls something out. And he hands it to Sturge. Ha! This is from us.
Ah,
Oh.
what
That-
is this?
It is an ancient arrowhead of elven design.
Well,
Just carrying
that's
that around?
beautiful. Thank you.
You are welcome, friend Sturge.
Somebody is thoroughly flustered by the fact that apparently we're giving us presents now. Like,
Yeah, Sarshan looks at Cecilia like, ah?
and this is one of those, like, I'm not gonna say, like, no, but also, like, what?
If Sturge picks up on this, he's going to say to Cecilia, and thank you as well. This is very thoughtful of you.
Don't mention it. Don't mention it. It's supposed to be
Sarshan
clear
was like, oh.
for people joining. Cecilia had a weird childhood, and she does not know how to be in a relationship, especially with someone who's very spontaneous and very fast at this.
Now, I believe Artemisia made a couple collars for the two boys. I think that's what's in these.
Collars?
I like wearing collars, Sergeant says.
You love it. You love it. It's like a choker.
Why is everyone looking at me like that?
Floral choker.
Oh God. My first thought was, what about the rest of the shirt? But then I realized, oh right, they're wools. So okay.
This way it's
I mean,
Oh my God.
so Artemisia would probably have made like kind of a neckerchief kind of thing. Like,
Charlton
you
shirt,
feel
Charlton
that's
Heston.
what Sturge meant.
Dickies, you made them Dickies.
Is that worse or better than like a dog collar? I don't
That's
know.
much worse. A dog collar is cool.
I don't know.
A dog collar is punk. A dickie, you can't make a dickie punk. I'm sorry.
Ah, yes.
a choker is kind
my
of
God.
stylish in a way.
I mean, if you could pitch it to her, I guess she'd do a choker kind of thing if you.
What's useful about a choker is it becomes a collar when you become a wolf. So it doesn't have
There
to
we
come
go.
off when you and then you can see which wolf is him because he's got the floral collar. Very.
All right.
Oh my
Collars
God.
happened under protest.
Oh my God. See,
Okay.
this is the thing. Is like maybe a collar is like punk in a human setting, but when it's like, oh, but you do turn into an animal. So here, let me symbolically like establish. This is how I think of you. As
My neck is much thicker as an animal, though.
that's true.
This is a size changing collar, or will I decapitate myself when I turn
I
into a wolf?
believe
I'm pretty
this
sure you'll
is-
break the collar.
I believe it's
Oh.
spandex. It should be.
And what now? Is that magic fabric?
Fan of dexterity?
And has anyone seen Stong?
I have
He's
seen
still in
him
the
many
jail?
times, Sergeant
Okay.
says. Cecilia and I visit him daily.
I heard a rumor he was
Sometimes the Eye of Justice is even aware of our presence.
Then
Rogar emerges
don't look
in
up.
his-
It's not my problem. But isn't he
Oh.
still in jail?
I went
Anybody
to
see
his
him
cell
today?
today to play the harmonica, as I usually do, at dusk, bluesy tunes, very mournful, kind of prison blues.
Ah, yes, to make him cry. Exactly, Sergeant says.
Well, just to give him the feel of, the adventure of being in prison.
Adventure.
And, well, he wasn't there. He wasn't there.
It's a very tedious adventure.
I even went
Tedious
to
is the word, right?
trouble of-
Tedious is the word.
Anyway, so I think they let him go.
Well, at some point,
Huh.
Artemisia she's been like upstairs or something. I figure as people are gathering downstairs, she's gonna like do a little bit of a entrance, like on the stairway. Like she's got a new coat,
I mean, it
And
is
she
Artemisia.
shouldn't
Of course she
have-
does.
bought it, but it's really, really awesome. Got it. And then she's gonna go down and join everybody.
Excellent.
Very nice. Look
Happy
at that.
Greengrass.
Did
Thank you.
make that?
Yeah, I designed it well, and so I don't really have presents for everybody because I was involved with the clothes that Sturge is giving everybody. So I apologize for not doing anything on my own. But you guys aren't from Aglaron, so anyway, yeah.
We leave presents for the fairies and then jump in a lake.
Ah, Sergeant says, and he
I
digs
don't
through his
want to do
bag.
that part.
He's like, and he pulls out a spoon. It's a silver spoon, and it has the letter M engraved on it.
Rogar
He
comes
extends it toward Artemisia
Where did you get that?
Thank
from the bag.
Before the bag, I meant.
Oh, I dig up all kinds of things.
When?
I got to do something while you're sleeping. Look, we have mismatched sleep cycles. It's totally natural.
She's gonna like stick it in her pocket because her jacket has pockets.
That's good. Very well designed.
Great.
Everybody can use more spoons in these.
It's true. So just by the way, everybody, don't like scatter completely. I'm not gonna, you know, bring down the mood on Greengrass, but tomorrow I need to talk to everybody. Just so.
Oh, thanks, Mom. Now we
Aren't you talking to us right now?
Super ominous. I feel like at this point you have to tell us what you're going to tell us tomorrow.
And Rogar bursts out in his floral tabard and says, "Happy Greengrass, everybody!"
Oh, well done, well done.
You look great, Rogar.
Oh, thank you.
You're an excellent change of subject.
Okay, no. What?
Wait 1 minute.
Artemisia's being cagey and ominous.
We need Stong if there's anything ominous to be said.
Oh, that's Sturge's job, I thought, to be cagey.
Right? We're all very, breaking out of our boxes, apparently, for Greengrass.
Okay, so just like...
Should I make a list? Is that... Okay.
Getting out her notebook.
I think you have to be extremely paranoid and suspicious.
Is there a cage? Sergeant asks. I do not like cages.
No, it's one of those figures of speech.
Ah, figures of speech.
And you're...
Is it a threatening figure of speech? Is it a mysterious figure of speech? Like a mysterious figure of speech seated in the corner waiting to give us a quest?
No. Artemisia, I see what you're doing.
All right, so she opens the notebook.
Okay,
Stong. Wait. Please, Artemisia, Stong needs to be here.
Okay.
Speaking of Stong, you have paused outside the porch of Briar House, and you're looking up at the house, and you're hesitating for a second because you're full of thoughts and contradictory feelings. You haven't been out of prison for like a month now, ish, right?
Yeah.
And you're standing there, and maybe you're thinking about whether to go inside or whether maybe you should just head off on your own.
I think he feels really nervous.
Yeah.
He hasn't seen his friends in a long time.
We visited you just to be clear.
Oh, I know. They visit all the time, but he hasn't actually...
It's a different context, right?
Okay, but that is fair. I just want to make clear, do not abandon him in jail.
He wanted to be like a surprise, that he got sprung, so he didn't send any of them. He kind of feels in his pockets for the gifts that he also brought them. And then he thinks about... he's mostly nervous about seeing Mirabelle because he... It's a weird mix of eager anticipation, but also like nervousness. How's she gonna react? What if she doesn't recognize him? What if she's not as eager to see him as he is to see her? So he hesitates on the doorstep.
You're thinking about these things, and you're hesitating when this green butterfly flaps down.
It's that green butterfly.
And it flaps around in front of you a little bit. Just kind of...
Nature check.
Okay, go ahead.
21.
Okay, you extend your finger and it lands on your finger.
Do I recognize what kind of butterfly it is?
It's not native to these parts. You would expect to find a creature like this far to the east, you think?
Interesting. Like, do I know the general region? If not a city?
Not really.
Okay.
Maybe like the unapproachable east.
Okay. Stong thinks about how rare this butterfly is and what a long journey it must have made to get here.
Yeah, and this kind of butterfly is indeed called a Jade Butterfly, like Meyer Doug suggested.
Oh, nice. I think he takes it as like a good omen because it's traveled a long distance and it made it. And so maybe it's telling him that he's also traveling a long distance and, he's made it back home or something.
Yeah, I mean, it is possible that, like, there's a Shao enclave in town that raises butterflies. You don't know, but it seems like a good omen. You feel a little bit of relief. You go inside.
He will knock on the door.
All right, so you're reaching up to knock on the door when someone opens the door and everyone is there, including Rogar in his extremely floral clothes.
I'm back!
Do we have to roll initiative for who hugs Stong first?
Yes, roll initiative.
Oh, come on.
This is a good use of D&D mechanics.
Nice.
Urge will
great.
succeed and then get crushed against them.
17.
15.
18.
14.
Also, I want to ask which of you is holding Mirabelle?
I assume she was upstairs taking a nap, but
Okay, we could say Rogar came out carrying Mirabelle, and Mirabelle goes, "Daddy!" Like immediately as soon as the song appears.
oh, I feel like that immediately upsets the initiative order.
Yeah,
Well, I was
She
thinking
gets
just because I was
Everyone's
last, like, you get through all
18,
of you.
16, and then Mirabelle's like 34.
Wow, is that her voice now? Wow, you've changed so
No.
much in 20 days.
I've been giving her ale every morning with a little bit of ale, just, you know, help her grow beard grow.
She just
right?
poof, disappears in a puff of sulfurous mist and then reappears hugging Stong.
Aw.
Aw.
Oh, Stong is going to give her the biggest hug, and he's gonna like shower her with embarrassing dad kisses. Like the really like slightly wet and like embarrassing sucky soundy ones, like oh my baby.
All right, and then the Westgate Irregulars smash into Stong, and there's this whole huge group hug.
Yeah. And just saying, like, new viewers should know, Artemisia's strength is 6.
6.
So
She gets defeated by
her-
ladders and ropes on the regular.
her hug is like the gentle caress of a breeze.
And this big red wolf jumps on the pile, and you all fall over. And Sarshan's like, "Ruff, ruff, ruff," woof, turns into himself. I'm sorry, I got excited.
Sorry, Shin.
Okay. So the Westgate Irregulars have come back together. You could celebrate Greengrass together. Tell me about all the gifts. What gifts have not been given?
Oh,
Go
I have
ahead.
gifts. I have gifts. Well, first of all, okay. Yeah. So, okay, everybody. I got gifts for everybody. I get gifts for everybody. So, first, I'll give to Stone, since I'm so happy to see him. I'll give him first. I'll hold out a little box, and you can open it if you want.
Stong takes the box and he holds it in front of Mirabelle, and he says, "Oh, thank you, Rogar. Do you want to open it, Mirabelle?" And he's gonna let her open the box.
Inside, you find like an interesting little gadget. It's kind of like you realize there's things you can kind of fold out of it, and there's like a spoon and a little knife, like a cheese knife, and a snail shelling blade. And you don't know. There might be other additional things or properties to be discovered, perhaps in future episodes. We'll see.
This is a clever multi-purpose tool of gnomish make.
Thank you, Rogar.
Aye, you're welcome. And then he gives to Artemisia kind of a broad, flat little package.
Take off the paper or whatever.
Okay.
I bet Artemisia unwraps things without tearing the paper. Am I correct?
Well, yes. I mean,
And Anne says, 1 second, I need to make a note who to write the thank you note to. But I'm right
she has a
here.
thank you note
I got
list.
to write the thank you note. Inside, you find a mirror that has a bronze frame of like wolves chasing each other around in a circle. And then on the handle, it has like a dragon wrapped around the handle, twined around it.
oh, it's so beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And then Sturge, here's a nice little package. Do you open it? and go off mute. Cool. Inside, you find a nice pair of black leather gloves with very thin in the finger pads to minimize loss of sensitivity, and with crows stitched in black thread on the back.
Why, Rogar, this was very thoughtful.
Oh,
thank you.
You're welcome. And
Doesn't
then
he only have one hand, Sarshan says?
It still goes over my mage hand.
Exactly. And then people won't know the one's a mage hand. So it's perfect.
Very good. Thank you.
Until it floats away and starts grabbing. And then Cecilia, and then I lift out kind of a big, like a bread box sized one for you.
Just gonna take it.
It's
sort of like unwrap it while everybody's watching, which is sort of uncomfortable, but okay. What is it?
Inside, you find what looks kind of like a big oval rock. It's kind of white and mottled brown. And I said, I asked for a pet for you. And he gave me a rock. He said it's a very good listener. And, and doesn't require feeding or thinking. I thought so. I thought it was a great gift. So I hope you like it.
I feel like this gift might make Cecilia start crying, but probably not for the reasons. But fortunately or unfortunately, Cecilia really doesn't. She is an easier crier than I think she comes off as, but she also really hates crying in front of people. So I think there's a lot of thank you.
They make good familiars as well.
Of Cyril and past pets and how things don't work out, and it's really hard to love people and trust them, and because they keep just it's hard. She doesn't say any of this. She just goes, "Thank you." It's a very pretty rock.
You're welcome. And I made a list, like I said. So these are the things that we usually do for the dwarves. Actually, Greengrass is really huge for
Sarshan
Charinlar.
puts his supporting arm around Cecilia.
Oh. It's a really huge holiday for Charinlar. And I made a list of the things we traditionally do. So we're gonna feast, and then dancing, and lots of drinking, and more dancing. And we normally do this thing ritual with gold and a little bit of blood and stuff, but we won't do that. And also we'll probably let me just scratch out the orgies and the sexual pairings. So
good idea.
But all right, cheese. We'll do cheese.
Ren says, but we are going to talk about those later, right? Leaning over Rogar's shoulder.
Dude, private conversations, public conversations.
So, and then I say,
right.
I raise my hands and I say, Charinlar, with holy power instead of yeast and flour, with magical feet instead of fruit and meat, I summon forth a hero's feast. And all of this food, and drink, just spreads out before us, including nice steaming snail stew for Stone, and I don't know, everybody's favorite foods and drinks, some Rashemi, cheeses and drinks and everything else that we could possibly want. And Rogar says, okay, one last thing before we dive in. I just wanted to say, I have to say a blessing, it being, a holy day. So on this day of, new spring and new life, we begin with a feast in gratitude for life itself, and with renewed gratitude for the people who share our lives and make them better. And as spring's sunlight arrives now, we give thanks for the light and the love, that love brings into our lives, and the love of friends, the love of family, the good family, not the bad family, and perhaps most difficult of all, true love for ourselves, and our love for each other. And speaking of which, I have one more gift. Ruan, and I'll reach into my pocket, and I pulled out a beard ring, which is a nice iron thing. And I forgot to mention earlier, Rogar he has beard rings, but they don't have any runes on them like dwarves usually do, because he's an orphan, so he doesn't know his family or his clan or anything. So he says, Ruan, You know, for so long I felt like, I don't know, unworthy of Sharindlar's grace, and I believed I was corrupted. That, you know, Moradin had he'd forged. The Moradin had forged my soul broken somehow or wrong, and but you've helped me find truth and life and love, and you know, not just for you but for myself. So I wanted to offer you this beard ring, and you can wear it in your hair because I know you can't grow a beard, but just to declare to anyone who sees it that we're officially courting, and as a promise of my devotion and love, if you'll take it.
Of course. Ren takes it from you and then hugs you.
Oh, good.
Aww.
And then I have one for myself, and it has a little symbol on it of a heart-shaped hammer, and then a little staff with leaves on it, crisscrossed on it.
Aww.
All right. He braids it into his hair.
All right, that's it. That's great.
And then you hear a clattering of someone dropping a tray of something, and you all look back and you see Charity standing there just outside the kitchen, and she's dropped this tray of teacups and stuff, and she's just like,
Oh.
and she's just tears are just rolling down her cheeks, and she's just, that's so sweet, and I'm so relieved because I can only cook soup.
Poor Charity.
One of the viewers just gave Rogar inspiration.
Oh, thank you.
I think Stall's going to immediately rush over and start casting mending on the teacups.
Dig into the food. Artemisia isn't gonna eat. She's gonna go over to Cecilia first and sort of lean in and be like,
I am 100% eating.
I'm drinking. Sarshan puts down the bottle of magically conjured jewel in front of Cecilia.
Is it already open?
I mean, does that matter?
It does matter. Once it's open, you have to finish it. If it's
Yeah,
not
but you
open,
are gonna open it, right?
well, I don't know.
Sarshan says, "Don't worry."
It's a superstition.
Well, but
All right.
before she gets into the jewel, Artemisia is gonna say,
this, so just so you know.
I'm sure Rogar means well, and I'll get you something better, because you seem like you didn't like his present, and I just got you clothes because that's what we.
It's a rock.
Yeah. I just got you clothes because that's what we do in Agleron, but I can get you something that's.
I wore it. It's cute. Why are you buying me stuff? You keep talking about how you have money problems. I don't need you to buy me stuff.
But
I don't want you to go into debt to buy me.
But
buy me a
I
better
care
rock.
about you.
And?
So that's why I'm getting you stuff. It's
Oh.
important.
Artemisia. She's gonna hug her on the shoulders. This is a very nice jacket. Is it a jacket?
Jacket.
Did I do it right? Okay. It's a very nice jacket. I appreciate it. You don't have to fix Rogar's rock. Really?
It's a very good listener.
It was thoughtful. I think look, everybody doesn't have to know everything that's going on in my head, and he didn't, and that's okay. I just sort of, it's fine. I just miss, no, it's fine. Happy Greengrass.
Yeah, happy Greengrass. We can talk about other stuff tomorrow.
Oh my God, Artemisia, you dodged! No. What is it?
Almost made it.
Happy Greengrass!
It's at that moment that Stong stands up and he says, I'd like to say a couple of words.
Oh, here.
So, back in the Orc tribe, every year for Greengrass, we would prepare to raid our neighbors and destroy them and take whatever they had harvested or saved for the winter.
What a glorious tradition, Sarshan says.
Yes.
I mean, terrible, terrible.
I mean, since I was in prison and I couldn't really help you sharpen or prepare any of your arms.
Did you steal things from the other prisoners?
No, but since I consider you my tribe, I got you these. And he like pulls out of his pockets what appears to be an assortment of like rusty, dirty spoons and forks and knives. But on the other side, the handle side, it's been turned into like a shiv. So I made you these so that when we get together and raid our enemies, we can all have properly sharp weapons.
Or we could all. And I think it's clever because. Jeez. Aaron's what you did? You broke Aaron.
Has anybody got Aaron Gigglefit on their
bingo sheet?
On the bingo sheet? Because that's kind of it's not all that common.
The shiv.
Yeah, I got you a prison shiv. Stong got you a prison shiv.
You got us all prison shifts?
Yes, all of us.
Matching prison shifts.
You can never have too many sharp objects.
What do you say in the thank you note for a shift?
Thank you very much for the personalized prison shift. It will go wonderfully with my matching floral.
And it would make a good like cloak pin and stuff like that, but also
the
I was
weirdest like adventuring game.
Well, I was going to say this is great, Stong, because then we'll always have something on that, now that you've started like throwing objects around with your magic, we'll all have something on us that you can like throw around with your magic if you need
Oh my
to.
god.
That's true.
Yeah, very
Oh,
true.
I love it.
Definitely put it in the pocket.
Hi.
Well, may it
Question.
serve you well.
Small question. Chat wants to know, how did you smuggle that many shivs out? I also have to admit, I'm curious. I have a guess, but PG-13. Are they
what
in
was
your
that
hair?
that-
Were they in your hair?
Oh, yeah, totally.
There we go. Totally PG-13.
What was it that I said about the extra pocket? Oh, it was in the barrel. Okay, he wasn't
Barrel
wearing the
had
barrel,
secret
darn it.
pockets.
Oh, I feel like I should have
Oh,
invited
shit,
the
barrel.
town crier to our feast. Just to like...
Ooh, that guy is such a buzzkill.
No, I know. I would
Heart
invite
attack,
him.
poor guy.
Yeah, he'd bring down the party. We want to dance and have fun.
Yeah.
Even-
Sarshan says, friend Stong, I have a gift for you from. He looks at Celia. Us?
Stone looks back and forth between the two of them, and then he looks at Cecilia to see how like she's reacting.
It's fine.
He reaches the bag. He pulls out this like dirty, rumpled ball of cloth, and then he's like, "Aha!" And he tosses it to Stong.
Stong takes it. He looks at it, and he says, "Thank you. I've never gotten dirty cloth before."
Yes, well, I just so happened to find this and thought of you.
You go shopping in the middle of the night, apparently.
Did this
I go
used to...
digging around old battle sites, in fact.
Oh, I
He's
thought
still
this was
grinning.
like the remains of one of your shirts or something.
Could be. Do you unfold it and look at what it is?
They're
Oh, yeah.
strewn all over.
Okay, it is in fact a ratty, torn pirate flag with the dragon skull.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Whoa, this is
Metal,
so cool.
man.
Where did you say you found this?
By the shore.
Do I
You
know of
live
any...
next to like the largest inner sea ever. That is really not very specific at all.
Do I either recognize the symbol as belonging to a specific fleet, or do I know of any like large pirate naval battles or something recently?
Make a history check.
History. Bards are good at history, right?
Ah, bards are good at
17.
everything. Good at everything. Well, you know that Westgate was originally a pirate city, essentially, and a haven for pirates, and pirates do make their birth out in the coves around Westgate frequently. Many people still consider Westgate to be a pirate city. It could be from any number of pirate ships.
So, as I'm examining this and thinking about it, I just happen to like turn towards the light. Is there any like X or something revealed?
Yeah, is there a hidden map, Goonies map on the back?
It's a flag, not a map.
Yeah.
But
Both.
when you look at it through the when you look at the light through the flag, you see that the dragon skull grows horns.
Whoa.
And the face kind of twists to become like that of a certain archdevil that you saw in maybe a dream that evening.
Your new side piece.
Why is this happening?
The back of your neck tingles, burns.
You've opened a door, my friend.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So I guess Stong is going to rub his eyes, decide that it was like an optical illusion, and then thank Sarshan and Cecilia.
Yeah, okay.
You guys have a couple's name that I could use?
Oh, please don't do that.
Okay.
I believe we're yes.
I want to be clear that Cecilia is not angry about any of this, or like, ew, gross, get away or anything. She's just flustered. The very concept of a couple's name just unsettles Cecilia. Like, is that a thing? Is that a thing? And apparently it is, because in another dimension, this is hot chat book gossip for some reason, which also keeps her up at night. Because why can't we just be like Cecilia and Sarshan? Why does it have to be this Simpson thing?
Meanwhile, not too far away in a printing house, a writer pores over her latest manuscript and finishes writing the word Setson.
Hold up. When you say not too far away, are you speaking because planes stack on top of each other, or is this happening in Westgate?
It's happening in Westgate.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
Not even that interesting.
And she picks up the sheet of paper, puts some dust over it, blows it off, and goes. And Fane just perfect.
Oh my god.
Gives this little toothy smile. And then she says,
I don't
on to
know any of
volume
this is
12.
happening. What?
Yeah.
This is a huge violation. And Cecilia doesn't know any of it. Cecilia is just like, Stone, why are you doing that?
That's right. So do we have more gifts to exchange, more stuff you want to do at your party, or should I epilogue us out?
Unless you guys want to go jump in a half-frozen lake, I don't have anything else to add.
Yes.
Well, I mean, Rogar and Ruin. You didn't notice that Rogar and Ruin had disappeared for a little while, but they come back out, a little disheveled, their hair a little mussy, and they're like, "Oh, is it dancing time yet?" And, that's all I have.
I think Stong is going to really enjoy the food and eat like the chili snails, and he's going to he does like a little baby shiv for Mirabelle, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, show me all your skills that you learned. Oh, you're so good."
She goes, okay. Burning hands just torches some of the feast.
With the shiv, Mirabelle.
Oh. And she goes,
Bob, she can touch those.
and then she disappears.
Nice.
And then she holds up her empty hands.
Wow.
And then she goes, and the shiv appears in a little burst of smoke in her hand. And she looks over at Cecilia and she goes, ah.
Your auntie taught you really well. And then Stong's gonna like look at Cecilia and give her like this really admiring, approving nod. And he's gonna say out a little louder, "You would make a great mom."
Oh my god, no.
And on that note,
just that, Jewel. I got a bling bling, by the way, Mr. DM. So
Okay.
you can decide how that manifests. Thank you, Agradon.
So that manifests this way. Sarshan says, I do have a present for you too.
Thank you. I didn't. Oh God! I wish people had told me this was a thing. I feel like a jerk.
I didn't know it was a thing until today, but I had a present for you from before. It doesn't have anything to do with the Greengrass thing.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's really sweet. Thank you. What? I mean, sorry. You were giving me something. I'm interrupting.
He reaches into his little bag and he pulls out this golden bracelet.
Oh, wow.
And he sets that in front of you. It's slightly tarnished, like it could use a good shining.
You found that, like, on a battlefield?
Yes. I didn't even have to chew off anyone's arm. I just found it.
I'm really glad that you did not, that you looked for this instead of chewing a bracelet off someone's arm. I appreciate that consideration.
Right? Anyway.
Real quick, I
saw it and I thought, I thought of you, so.
Is it
magical?
Well, first of all,
it's just a one piece thing. It doesn't have any hinge or anything. It's just a gold bracelet.
And make sure it's not cursed.
Okay.
In some way that I should be aware of.
Use your Eldritch Sight.
Yes.
Okay. How do you activate that? Do you like blink and you see the world differently? Or...
Yeah, let's say that.
Sure. Okay, it doesn't appear to be magical. Just a nice, well-crafted gold bracelet.
Does it have any kind of? It's just like a solid.
Just a solid
bangle.
thing.
Bangles.
Bangle.
Well, before everyone
I'm gonna put my wait a sec. I'm gonna put my bracelet on and appreciate that my boyfriend bought me a present. And okay, so she'll put it on, and it is probably the nicest thing she owns, except probably Artemisia's given her better clothes. That she has absolutely no concept of how much they cost because clothes. But still, it was really sweet. So she will look around and make sure nobody is watching because she doesn't want an audience. And then she will give him a kiss and she will say, "Happy Greengrass."
Ah,
that's very nice.
Thank you. I didn't realize that was a tradition as well.
Well, maybe it is now.
Perfect. We have our own tradition.
Before we all retire, and I probably will retire first as I am an early bird, as it were. Everyone...
Also, you're a human and require more sleep than the rest of us, Sergeant pipes up.
Also, excuse me, when have you ever been an early bird? You're always skulking around.
I
probably going to attack a night mask hideout early in the morning.
Oh,
there are
is that what you're doing?
Sometimes in the day.
I mean...
I sleep in the day in that case, so I can stay up all night. But today I've had a bit to drink, and it's been Greengrass, and
you're not gonna come jump. Well, I guess there's no lakes near Westgate. You're not gonna come jump in the ocean.
The Sea of Fallen Stars.
The Inland Sea.
I wish to make a toast. Can everyone get a beverage? There we are.
Yeah, Stone grabs a beverage.
Y'all better be drinking this jeweled, because I'm not taking the whole bottle by myself.
We begin this new year in a time of green, and we look behind us at a wreckage of a year of burnt buildings and crumbling towers and elephants.
Terrible politicians.
Terrible politicians. And we look to make a new start. I say we've got a good start already with Stone coming back.
Yes,
so,
thank you.
To the new year, may it be much brighter than the last, and may we find new ways to aggravate the night masks.
Gotta get that in there at the end.
To the new year.
To the new spring.
Okay.
Cecilia would settle up too.
Oh, let's dance, motherfucker!
Yeah.
All right, epilogus. It's
okay.
I learned a thing or two. I'll tell you when I'm sober.
All right, so my computer crashed, so I gotta pull.
Artemisia dodged still. Oh. I'll let Cecilia be distracted enough though.
Yeah.
Where did I save that? Okay. No, keep talking. I'll just be a second to find this.
What are you hiding? No,
it's really...
Okay, at this point, actually, I will say Cecilia's had enough jewel that she's like, you know what? Darn it! Didn't get a jump in the lake when I was at home. for reasons. So I'll jump in the lake this time, even though there's not a lake.
Wild Rogar!
Okay, wait. So we don't have a lake. We have the sea, and we have to make sure it's not where the
Quelzarn.
That's good.
I knew it.
You're so good at words. Stop.
Thank you.
You know what the best part of this song is? I'm a cleric. So what's this? And I touch my nose. I go, boop, and I cast a healing spell on me, and it gets rid of all the alcoholic poison in me. I'm so big, I'm like, I can start all over.
Magical.
Anyone else? Anyone else with the?
Well, I'll stand on the edge of
Other
the sea
buzzkill.
and make sure nobody bothers you while you jump in. How's that?
That's okay. I'm gonna pull her in
No!
I'm pretty sure that was loud enough that you absolutely heard it, and you can prepare to telekinesis out.
Okay, so the Irregulars take off to go and do their thing as a group once more, reunited after a time of chaos and division. That evening, as fireworks go off over the city, in a hovel somewhere in the docks, a sound of pain rises. The sweating man groans as the chirurgeon tends to the massive wound in his belly, just under his ribs. A curved dagger is wedged in his chest, and vines of green and black corruption creep out in all directions through the necrotized flesh around it. He jerks and thrashes on the moldy bed in the ramshackle flophouse. "Still and calm," says the chirurgeon, scalpel in hand. "This work is delicate, and if you move, I cannot..." "Burn your eyes," the uncooperative patient says. "And how about you stay calm when you have a knife embedded in your heart, hey? How about that?"
Oh.
The chirurgeon pulls away, leaving the man to shiver and curse, and then moves deeper into the room. He lies back, groaning, his chest heaving as he struggles to breathe. A lance of dying sunlight falls across his wan, deathly pale face. How long has his agony lasted? 10 days? Years? He can hardly say, since his turncoat daughter and her Ravishtan friends dealt him this horrible wound. He thought he would die when the blow fell. And then he thought he would die that night or the following day, and yet he lived for some reason he cannot say. No healing magic can touch him, and his pain is never ending, but death does not come. Racked in his pain, the suffering man completely forgets the chirurgeon for a time, until the smell of burning flesh touches his nostrils. He looks over blearily and sees the chirurgeon on the other side of the room, the scalpel poised over his chest. He has just finished pouring a vial of acid into his eyes, and his mouth twitches at the effort to make no sounds of pain. Then he stabs himself and collapses to the floor. He took the instructions literally, but that's not much of a surprise. Folk tend to do what Lazar Dovaskaya says. Huh, Lazar says. Well, the witch in spring can hardly curse the river for thawing. Can't she? Says a voice.
Oh.
Something flutters past his face, and he barely manages to muster the energy to brush at it. It's a butterfly whose emerald wings seem to glow in the dusk light. The sight of the creature makes him blink. What? It flutters away from him and alights silently on the outstretched finger of a woman who stands in the shadows of the hovel. She looks at him, and all he can see are her bright yellow and green eyes, reflecting the sunlight and full of fury, and then her slight smile. "Hail and well met, Lazar of Ruined Rock," the woman says in a cold, elven voice. "You," he says, eyes wide with fear. He tries to pull himself away, but only succeeds in flopping over. Don't touch me. Stay away from me." But his power means nothing to her, of course, no more than it does to their daughter. "Calm yourself," Skaha the Spirit Witch says. "You yet have some use to me, you miserable wretch of a man. And when you have fulfilled it," she touches his forehead, "only then will you have my permission to die."
Oh, damn.
And that's all the time we have for today.
We're all like, Greengrass, la la la. And then this is happening in the shadows.
Of an evil wizard.
Okay.
That is the nature of Westgate. Beauty on top and darkness below.
Oh my
So,
God.
Okay.
I have been Eric Scott DeVee, the DM of this campaign, and I'm looking forward to going on season 2 with all of you. Thank you for coming with us on this journey. We really appreciate it. We have great things in store and very dark things in store. So with that, take it away, Erin.
Wow. Okay. I saw a tiny sliver of that, and I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was fiction for our Discord. I did not think that was gonna happen right here and right now, and I didn't know where it was gonna go. So I'm a little shook. All right, I'm Erin M. Evans. Check out our sponsors, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms at idlechampions.com. Check me out on Mondays at 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific with B. Dave Walters and Trevor Bettis on Champions of Lore. We talk about the lore of the Forgotten Realms behind Idle Champions. And then again at 4 to 7 Pacific for Idle Champions Presents The Unfair Seas. This week is the last week of the Unfair Seas, and then we will start a new 3-week adventure where I will play Havilar, my character from Brimstone Angels, who has never met Glaja, which is probably good because oh my God. But it's a great time. So in between Dungeon Scroll shows, come check us out.
I've been Rhiannon Held, and we'd like to thank our moderators tonight. They were Myra Doug and Seldring.
Hey, I'm Ying Wang. I just closed our first ever giveaway and saw how it worked, and it looked like it announced it into the chat directly a little earlier than I would have liked it, but congratulations, a gray dawn. I will reach out to you and message you, and we'll work out how to get you your dice. Congratulations.
We will do this again.
Yes.
In subsequent, do we have how many weeks? We're definitely doing giveaways.
I'm thinking in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks from now, we'll try this again. I'm gonna take a look at the system, and then we'll talk about it and see how frequent we want to do it in the future, what other things we might want to give, what we liked about the system, what we didn't like, et cetera, et cetera. But congratulations.
One thing we like very much is the dice of Teacup.
Yes, Teacup makes fantastic dices. Be sure to check out her Instagram at Teacup the Creator. She posts beautiful pictures of all her work there, and there's a link there to her Etsy site.
Teacup the Creator. Cool. I'm Stephen Merlino. You can also find our past videos on our YouTube channel linked on our Twitch page below. Be sure to click subscribe to support us and the bell to get notified as we add new content.
And I've been Jack Black, and you can the adventure.
When we had that conversation, it did not even occur to me that you have any resemblance to Jack Black. Now you've said it a couple times, I'm like, do you? I don't think so.
I don't know.
With a beard, a little bit of a beard on him.
Beardish.
Sure. Scuba I don't know. Anyway, so so the adventure continues over on our Discord. Hop on over and continue talking about games and books and the realms and all kinds of fun stuff. And you can check out our
in the Dungeon Scrawlers movie that doesn't exist.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
And then check out our website especially if you're new to it. You can find profiles on the players, the characters, NPCs, recaps of our past episodes, and all kinds of good stuff over on the website as well as links to our Discord, our books, our merch, and all kinds of fun stuff. So check it out, and until next time, stay scrawling.